I have spent over 7 months documenting my entire journey on how I made a successful Roblox game. I started with little to no knowledge and got here, having over 400,000 visits on one of my games. Before I show you the entire process of how I did it, let me tell you about my website. You can get high quality assets or pre-made game templates. Currently, there is a New Year sale and everything is 30% off. Anyways, sit back, relax, and enjoy this movie. It all started with me designing pet models. Each pet will have 3 versions, a golden one, darkened one, and a normal one. After I was done modeling a cat and a dog, I started working on a mouse. Alright, it's been a while and I have pretty much made only 3 pets. Well, I have 9 pets in total, but that's including all of the golden versions and the darkened versions. The thing is, it's really hard to make them because each pet has different stuff. Like, for example, I need to change the outline based on the pet. It's not going to be the same size for every single one of them. Yeah, I don't know why I was complaining so much. I deleted the outlines later anyways. Next up, I made a bee and a panda. Texturing is a long and boring process, so I'll just skip that. Then I made a shark, a fish, and many more pets. Okay, you can say I have made a little bit of pets. It's clearly been some time, but this is pretty much every single pet that I need for the first update. These are definitely not all the pets I'm going to make. I made so many later. Anyways, I also made some assets and started adding textures to them. Alright, I'm done, and hopefully this is everything I need to build a perfect map. Every great map has a good layout, so I opened Paint and started sketching the layout. Yeah, the layout I imagined in my head was 10 times better than this piece of shit I drew. Anyways, it's time to make the map. I wanted to make some parts float, so I wrote this simple script that should work. This should work, the part should be floating, and as you can see, it works. Let's go. Now I added some borders, they are going to be the foundation of the map. Let me just cut to the part where I'm done. Alright, it's really late. As you can see, it's past 2 AM. But I think I'm finally done with the spawn area. I really try to make it look as good as possible. But there are some final touches that I need to add, but that's until tomorrow. Today I was feeling fresh and started by adding some rings so you can interact with the mailbox and pet index. Then I got straight to work on the next area. I placed down trees, flowers, bushes, and pretty much everything I had in my asset pack. Okay, I'm done with the first area. And it doesn't even look that bad. I sort of like it. You can go ahead right here and open an egg. Of course, I don't have any egg models at the moment. I still need to make them. But overall, this area looks really good. The next area is going to be a spruce forest. Instead of normal bushes, I added berry bushes, pine trees, and many more assets. To be honest, this area turned out way better than I expected. Then I finally imported some pets and added primary parts that'll be used to make the pet follow you. If I have pets, of course, I need to make some eggs. So I hopped on a 3D modeling software called Blender and started modeling the first 4 eggs. I imported the eggs in Roblox Studio and tested it out. Alright, so I imported all of the eggs and they look pretty good. My scripter also made a few of these eggs work. So I can go up to it, open, and I got a cat. And I can go to my inventory and equip it. Yeah, sorry if I sound dead again, it was really late. The next few areas are going to be desert themed, so I hopped back on Blender and modeled a bunch of desert assets. I even made a pyramid. It was a bit tricky to make, but it turned out pretty good. Another late night, but at least I'm done coloring the asset pack and it's ready to be imported in Roblox Studio. I guess I forgot to start recording, but in the morning, I already made another area which looks really good. I got to work straight on the next one. As usual, I placed down hills and all of the assets I made. I'll show you what it feels like now I'm on the outside. Nah, why am I singing again? This is so awkward. Okay, while building, I realized my studio completely broke. As you can see, I cannot really move objects. I cannot also I can rotate them now. Sort of. But yeah, I'll restart Studio and continue on building this map. Studio wasn't broken, I was just dumb. I accidentally turned on collisions. Anyways, I was done with the second area and started to script some of the pets. Okay, I finished configuring all of the pets and also eggs. So if I go ahead and open this egg, I got a mouse, cat, and now I cannot afford it. But as you can see in my inventory, I can equip the best pets, and as you can see, the mouse is the best one. Now it's time to make the last desert area. This one is going to be called Ancient Desert. Alright, I'm done with this ancient desert area and I really like how it turned out. Ignore this egg rolling around, I just forgot to anchor it, but I can actually open it. Let me just quickly get some currency and I want to show you what will happen. So there is this animation and as you can see, I got the spider. And now I can equip it and it does a lot. It's 121. The next areas are going to be ocean themed. So I hopped back on Blender and made this ocean asset pack. Let me just tell you, it took so long to make, but at least it looks very good. I got an amazing idea for the first ocean area. There's going to be a water slide that you have to slide down to enter the first ocean area. For the next one, I added a bunch of hills, rocks, and also corals. I did pretty much the same for the next one, but added anchors and different types of assets. I also added animated water, color correction effects, and I'm excited to show you how it looks. I'm done with all the underwater areas and I'm so excited to show you how they look. So first of all, our journey starts here. where we go down this water slide and enter the sea area. There is nothing crazy here, but on this area, there's this ocean chest where you'll be able to claim a lot of gems. Now on to the next one, which is called Deep Sea. There are a lot of anchors and corals, but this area is personally my favorite. Just watch what happens when I enter it. As you can see, there are ships above my head, but when I enter it, they drift on into the sea, and now I can farm currency. But if I go ahead and exit the area, the ships are back in the sea and are setting sail to new destinations. I think this is the best area I have made in my entire career. Alright, I'm done with all the ocean areas, and I love them so much. The next areas are going to be winter themed, so I made some new pets and also a bunch of new assets, and with them, I started making the first winter area. It turned out really good, but I got no time to waste right now, so I got straight to work on the next one. As usual, I added a bunch of hills, trees, rocks, and some new assets like igloos. Again, this area is one of my favorites. Anyways, it's time to make the third winter area. This one is really special and has a cozy atmosphere because I added a bunch of log cabins. Alright, I'm done with all the winter areas, and I forgot that I have to make 2 beach areas. For the first one, I already had the layout, I just needed to add the assets. I didn't record the process of me making the second beach area, but I got something mind-blowing to show you. So, in my game, you'll be able to trade game passes. For example, let me buy 2 times Robux, and it'll appear in my inventory. I can either use it or sell it for tokens, and you'll be able to trade tokens. This way, free-to-play players will be able to obtain game passes. Alright, let me show you the beach areas now. And here's the next one. This one also has a lot of detail, but I don't have the eggs yet. I still need to make them. I hopped back on Blender and made the new eggs. Alright, I'm finally done with this huge project that me and my team have been working on for weeks. And remember, Janice, at the start of the video, you said that this game cannot fail. And it indeed can't. I'm about to spend 4,000 Robux just to advertise it. Let me just show you what happened. It's honestly crazy. You can say the ads started working and there are so many people in this game. Yeah, this wasn't even the crazy part. It all just hit at one moment. Yo, help! Help! I'm dying! Yo! Our servers is dying. Roblox servers were cooked after this. I forgot to set the player count limit. And also, the lag optimization was very bad. Yo, 300 players! This is insane! I was laughing so hard, but inside dying, because the lag was ruining the entire game. There are like 40 players in one place. Me and my team got straight to work and started fixing it. It ended up being the pet follow script. and now the experience is lag free. Of course, my game won't have consistent 300 active players, but give it some time and it might end up on your front page. I joined my game, checked the leaderboards, and realized people have way too much Robux. I mean, not like the actual Robux, but the in-game currency in my game called Robux. Get what I mean? I suck at explaining. Anyways, I need to nerf something, otherwise the progression is way too easy. I ended up slightly nerfing the rebirth multiplier by 0.01. I know, it's not a lot, but when you have 400,000 rebirths, it adds up. In my game, there are a lot of bugs. Once, there was a bug where you could get an infinite amount of the best pet with a single luck potion. So me and my team spent a good amount of time fixing some bugs. Of course, these aren't all the issues, there are many more that are fixed off camera. A lot of you guys are complaining about the lightning being really bad. I tried to act like a lightning expert by changing each property, but to be honest, I had no clue what I was doing. After messing around, here's the final result. So here's the new lightning. I added a bit of atmosphere, messed around with the saturation, and overall, I think this looks pretty good. Now, it's time to make some new areas. I hopped on a 3D modeling software called Blender and started designing a nice asset pack. I made mountains, hills, ice blocks, trees, and many more assets. I'm finally done with this asset pack. The texturing took a long time, and yes, there is also a Titanic. I'm going to make like a deep ocean. But now it's time to import these assets in Roblox Studio and get to building. I was about to make new areas, but then I saw a picture of this person chilling outside of the map. So I quickly fixed it by adding some rocks. Anyways, it's time to make the first ice area. Before I make the first ice area, let me tell you already, I got a sick idea in my head. But you know, usually expectations are way better than the reality. So let me get to building and pray this looks good. Yeah, I forgot what were my brush tool settings, and now when I place hills, they just don't look good. I checked an old video to see what they were and started placing down hills. Then I added ice rocks to make an Arctic scene. Alright, it's finally time to add the Titanic, so let me go ahead and add one right here, one maybe here, okay actually here, and one right around here, right next to the egg. Now let me just rotate them and rescale them so they fit in the scene. Okay, there we go, perfect. I think this area turned out pretty good. I joined in game to see how this area looks, and damn, it looks insane. I'm in love with this one, but I know how to make it look better. I can make this water animated, so let me do that. All I gotta do is, for example, go to this water right here and find this script right here that should animate the texture. So let me go back to here and paste it inside, and now if I play, the water should be animated. There we go, now it's animated and it already looks a lot better. Yeah, don't ask me how I got up here, but the view is absolutely insane. I can see almost every single area, and it's really beautiful to look back at your past work and see what you have achieved. But anyways, it's time to get back to work. I need to make the second ice area. As usual, I placed down hills and started adding a bunch of assets. Here's the final version. It looks pretty good. Anyways, it's time to make the third ice area. I already had the first layer of hills placed down. I just needed to add mountains and ice hills. I don't know what happened to my footage, but the next clip shows all the areas fully decorated. I mean, I'm not complaining, they look really good. I also hid 2 secret codes somewhere in these areas. Good luck finding them. I found this module script that allows you to create sick text effects. Here's what I made. These are the final effects I added for every single one of these texts. They really make the shop feel more alive. Walking in my game feels kind of slow, so I'm going to add a speed potion. I started by making the UI and then scripting it. Let me test out the speed potion, and looks like there's already an error. I believe I forgot to check if the humanoid actually exists. In order to fix this, there's a simple solution. I also gotta do or player.character added and wait. The error is gone, and now if I go ahead and buy the speed potion, it should work. And yeah, I'm super fast, just like Lightning McQueen. Alright, the speed potion works. Now it's time to make the new eggs that I'm going to add in the ice areas. I hopped back on Blender and modeled 3 eggs. Now it's time to add textures. I'm done, and these eggs look really good. Each pet has a primary part that has to be positioned correctly, so I spent 10 minutes doing that. After I was done, I configured all of the added pets and tested it out. I'm done configuring all of the eggs and also pets, so if I go up to this egg and try to open it, it should work. And let's go, it does. I also added small details like these bricks to make the areas feel more alive. I'm back to configuring pets again. These are going to be the new exclusive egg pets. Now comes the annoying part where I have to take a screenshot of each pet and remove its background, upscale it, edit it, and configure it. Yeah, it's a long and boring process. Alright, I'm done configuring all of the party pets and also the egg. Let me see if it works. So I'll go ahead and open 3 party eggs. Yo, I got the huge, but for some reason it's still the Dominus egg. It was a simple fix and now it should work. Okay, why are the eggs so big? But I got 3 party dogs. It works, I just need to rescale the egg. Because this is the first update, I'm going to make it special by adding 3 more areas. I hopped back on Blender and started making a spring asset pack. This tree was painful to make, but at least it looks good. I need flowers, but I don't have enough time to make them. So I bought this flower asset pack for $4. The quality is insane for the price. Just look at how good these are. Alright, I'm done texturing this asset pack, and these aren't even all the assets I'm going to add. I'll add hills, mountains, and maybe even waterfalls. For the first spring area, I started by adding hills. Then I added different variations of trees and also some flowers. Alright, I'm done. On to the next area. I'm trying to speedrun these areas because I have 1 day left until the update and I need to get everything done. Anyways, I feel like dropping a 6 speed build montage. This looks so good. This is definitely my favorite area so far. The third area is going to be garden themed, so I added a bunch of flowers, trees, and also a wishing well, which fits the build very well. If I make new areas, I gotta add new pets. These are all the pets I'm going to add: a flower cat, bunny, bear, and this gecko. And there's also going to be a huge version of one of these pets. I configured all of these new pets and let's see if they work. Alright, I'm finally done adding all of the new pets and also eggs. As you can see, everything works. But if I go to the spawn area, there is a new feature and it's an update countdown. This way you'll know how much time is left for the next update. Alright, I'm done with this update. Well, with my part. My scripter is still making an upgrade machine where you'll be able to spend your gems. It's impossible to show everything we are making on camera. Every time you join my game, you'll see something new that you haven't seen in my videos. This part of the map looks empty, so I started by adding a bunch of hills to hopefully fill it up. After I was done, I decided that I'm going to make new areas, and they're going to be jungle themed. To do it, I hopped on a 3D modeling software called Blender and started modeling a tree. Nah, why does this tree look so bad? I have been trying for an hour to make it look good, and this is the end result. And you know what's also bad? My designing skills. That's where the sponsor of today's video comes in help. With customuse.com, you can create clothes in seconds. Just choose a template, click remix, add your design by changing colors and adding custom images, publish your creation and download it. Then you can upload it to Roblox and start earning thousands of Robux by selling clothes. Click on the link in the description to check out customuse.com. Anyways, back to making trees. I'm pretty sure I somehow improved these trees and also made some new ones. Then I started making a jungle temple. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. I just gotta reduce the number count and set the render as the object. And the object is going to be this leaf. And boom, now I have a vine. I didn't know I was an expert at creating vines. Anyways, back to modeling assets. Alright, I'm finally done coloring the asset pack. It was pretty painful to texture it, especially this temple, but I'm pretty satisfied with the result. I wasn't done actually. I decided to model 2 more trees. To make the first area, I started by copying the ground and adding the first layer of hills. The hills are way too bright, so I changed the color of the texture. Then I started adding some trees and also rocks. I'm done with the jungle themed area, and to be honest, it looks way better than I expected. I usually suck at making jungle maps and jungle assets, but this looks pretty good. Now it's time to make the second area. I place down trees, bushes, and other assets. Only hate the roads when you're missing home. I swear, every time my singing is more random and even worse. Anyways, I'm done with the second area, and I also added birds to make the area feel more alive, physically and also metaphorically. For the third area, I already made the layout. All I needed to do is add assets. Let me show you what I do in a situation like this. I use the rotate tool, rotate it, and boom, problem solved. Alright, I'm done with the last jungle area. What happened here? I gotta fix this. I anchored the temple and also scripted a jungle chest where you'll be able to claim good rewards. Alright, now everything is anchored, and let me see if this chest works. I received a Robux potion, and if I check my inventory, there it is. With new areas, I need new pets, so I hopped back on Blender and started modeling some pets. Phew, I'm finally done texturing all of these pets. This definitely took a while because some of these textures were really complicated to make, but now it's time to import them in Roblox Studio. Now comes the annoying part where I have to configure pets. First, I have to add primary parts, then take screenshots, then upscale it, edit it, and yeah, the process goes on and on. So I'm done configuring all of the eggs and also pets. And let me see if this egg works. So I'll go ahead and open Divine Egg. And it works. Let's go. I want to make the gift button display an exclamation mark whenever a gift is ready. So I wrote a simple script that should work. Alright, this should work, so when there's a gift ready to be claimed, an exclamation mark should appear. And let's go, it appeared, and now if I go ahead and claim the gift, it disappears again. I also added a new chat tag, and it's an owner tag. I cannot show you it right now because this is not actually my main account, and I only have the developer tag. I want to make more areas. Well, not really, but you know, I gotta make good updates. So I hopped back on Blender and started modeling some mine/cave assets. Now it's time to add textures. For the first area, I have a sick idea. I'm going to make a closed cave. It'll require me to fill up this whole area with a bunch of rocks. I realize the recording is going to be way too long, so let me just cut to the part where I'm done. So I'm finally done with this first cave area, and damn, it looks insane. It took so long to make, but this is the final result. This brings back so many memories. It feels like I'm playing Minecraft again and exploring a deep cave. I have no time to waste, so I got straight to work on the next one. I added rocks, lanterns, logs, and pretty much everything. And the area turned out to be pretty cool. For the third one, I already had the layout. All there was left for me to do is add assets. I'm done, and I'm really happy with these new areas. But with new areas, I need new eggs and also pets. So back to Blender again. I'm done with the eggs, and let me show you the pets. A builder cat, pig, squirrel, and a blue bird. And there's also going to be a huge version of the blue bird. Then I got back on Roblox Studio and configured all of these pets. I'm pretty much done with this update, but I have always wondered what's the maximum amount of players I can get in my Roblox game. And to test it out, I'm going to advertise my game for 10,000 Robux. I'm about to drop my whole life savings on this sponsor. I pray this goes well. Okay, here goes nothing. Yo! 500 active players! Oh my god, this is insane! You thought this was crazy. Watch what's about to happen. 1,000! Almost 1,000 active players! Oh my god! Of course, the ad will die and my game will have less than 1,000 players. But even without ads, it's managing to pull in around 70 to 100 concurrent players. Many players max out my game in a couple of days and they have nothing to do. So I'm going to add 3 new areas, and to do it, I hopped on a 3D modeling software called Blender and started designing some assets. Why does this tree look like poop? I gotta remake this. I'm done modeling these trees. Now it's time to texture them. I'm done texturing this void/darkened asset pack, and I decided to make these trees brown instead of black, because otherwise the whole area is just going to be very plain and there won't be any bright colors that stand out. Alright, now I can start creating the first area. I started by making the layout and adding a darkened machine. Yup, you heard me right, it's finally coming into the game. I added more rocks, trees, and also hills. So I'm done with this area and it turned out really good. I added these gems and more trees. And yeah, there is a darkened machine, but it doesn't work yet because my scripter still needs to script it. Before I make the next area, I made new textures to easily color the hills and also trees. Once I was done, I started making the layout for the first area. Now it's time to add trees and other cool assets. Alright, I'm also done with this Crimson Forest area. I added extra decorations like these flowers and vines hanging off from the trees and also hills. Back to Blender again, I made 2 new assets that are going to be used in the 3rd area. As usual, I started by adding hills and mountains. Then I added trees, vines, and many more assets. Since I'm done with these areas, I might as well already make the eggs for them. I made a dark egg, a wine egg, and a mushroom egg. I have no words for the next clip, I'm going to show you. Nah, what the f is this? I was just trying to make a crocodile face, and this is the end result. Yeah, this is the exact reason on why I don't show the process of me making pets. Anyways, I configured each pet by adding primary parts to them. I also made icons for every single pet. I'm done configuring all of the pets and also eggs, so if I go ahead and open this dark egg, I got nothing because I forgot to add the pet models into replicated storage. All I gotta do is just move it from workspace to replicated storage, and now it should work. Let me go ahead and open one more egg just to make sure that everything works. Then I hopped back on Blender and designed a new exclusive egg. It'll have 4 exclusive pets: a cartoony cat, cartoony dog, cartoony snake, and a huge cartoony dragon. I still needed to make golden and darkened versions of these exclusive pets. My scripter has been working on 2 new game passes, and one of them is a hatch faster game pass. With it, you'll be able to hatch pets at insane speed. And the other one is a way to get your darkened pets 2 times faster from the dark machine. I still need to make UI for both of these game passes, so let me do that. I have a nice template already made for the game pass icons. I just needed to change the icon and the colors. I decided 30 areas aren't going to be enough, so I hopped back on Blender and started making more assets. Let me add textures now. Phew, I'm finally done coloring this asset pack, and now it's time to import these assets into Roblox Studio. Hold up, before I import them, I want to show you the pets I made. End snake, widow, cyclops, and an end dragon. And of course, I also made some eggs. Now it's time to start making the first area. In the back of my mind, we cry. I have no clue why I'm singing again. I believe I had a bad mood that day. Anyways, I finished the first area by adding some rocks. Onto the next one, I added small rocks that acted as islands to recreate the end islands from Minecraft. Alright, I'm done with this area and it looks pretty good. All there was left to do is to make the last area. Alright, I'm finally done making all the end areas, and I also added some cool effects. Let me show you. So when you step in one of these end areas, the wall lighting changes, it becomes dark and really foggy. And yeah, there are also eggs that I clearly forgot to anchor. I can use them as a football right now. I still need to configure all of these eggs and also the new end pets. This means I gotta do the boring stuff of taking screenshots and blah blah blah. I'll stop yapping and actually get to work. I haven't even configured the new pets, so let me do that. I don't know how, but I made an extra pet that I don't even need, and it's the cartoony snake, so let me just get rid of it. I actually needed that snake later, I'm so dumb. Once I was done configuring the pets, I made icons and tested if everything works. Okay, I'm finally done configuring all of the pets and also the Robux egg and the other eggs. And let me see if this actually works. So I'll go ahead and buy 3 cartoony eggs. And I forgot to place pet models. Okay, now it works. And yo, I got the huge! I have no clue on how I hatched this huge, but let me also go to the last area and see if this egg works. So I'll go ahead and open 8. The egg is rotated sideways, I will fix that later, but I got all of these pets. Let me start with the most important thing. My game is not balanced. There are too many people complaining in my Discord server on how hard it is to unlock the latest areas. To fix this, I reduced the area prices by around 20% and increased the pet multipliers by a lot. Now the best pet in the game has a multiplier over 1000. I constantly get messages about people wanting a summer event, and I'm going to finally make it. I started by visualizing how would the new summer currency look. When I got the idea, I hopped on my photo editing software and made a texture for the summer currency. Here's the new beach currency, and it turned out pretty good. It looks like a literal popsicle. I still need to retexture other currency models and make an icon for this currency, so let me do that. For some drops, I also added sea stars. I don't know if that's how you call them, but to be honest, they look pretty good on these models. I'm done with these summer drops and they look pretty cool. They remind me of like these inflatable floaties that you usually see in pools. Now I need to make the actual summer event, so I hopped on a 3D modeling software called Blender and started modeling some assets. Nah, why does this leaf look so bad? I swear, sometimes my modeling skills are so trash. I remade the leaf and continued on modeling assets. I thought I was done, but a sick idea popped inside of my head, and I also modeled a volleyball court. I know, it's not the best one. I promise, I improved it later. But now, let me color these assets. Phew, it's been some time, but I'm finally done adding all of the textures and these assets look really good. Especially this volleyball. I did follow a tutorial on how to make it, but you have to admit, it looks really cool. I started off by making an entrance to the summer event. It looks pretty good to be honest. Then I made a quick layout for the summer areas. Alright, I'm done with the layout of the summer areas, and now I can start actually making them. And let me tell you already, one of these areas are going to be really special, so stay tuned for that. For the first one, I added a layer of hills, and then a second layer of mountains. This makes the area have more depth. I know, I suck at pronouncing that word. Anyways, then I added assets like trees and also made a volleyball court. Okay, so I'm trying to import my character, but just look what happens. I don't know why, but why is my body like this? This is so weird. It's like I skipped leg day for this specific leg. Something was bugged in this place, so I switched to a new one and it worked right away. I animated me and my friend playing volleyball because that's what we usually do outside. Okay, I'm done with the first summer area and it looks pretty good. And of course, I forgot to anchor the egg. That is really common for me. I keep forgetting to anchor things. Anyways, remember how I was telling that I was going to add something special? Well, let me show you it. Right here, I added an Easter egg where me and my friend are playing volleyball, and I think it looks pretty cool. Just me thinking of this brings back so many memories. Instead of adding hills, I added only mountains, but they all are gray and it doesn't fit the summer theme. You might wonder how I changed the colors of these mountains if there are many colors on them. I simply use textures which I make myself. All I gotta do is change the colors and boom, the mountains fit the area perfectly. Then I started adding assets. This area turned out really good. I love it. The next area won't just have assets and hills, it'll also have water. I know, I made it sound way more exciting than it actually is. I placed down more assets, including surfboards and sandcastles. Okay, I'm done with the third beach area, and it looks pretty cool in my opinion. I really like this beach vibe. Anyways, I gotta get to work on the next one because there are so many things that I need to do to make this update. Now it's time to make the third area. For this one, I added hills and huge castles that'll act as borders. I also added rocks, but the area looked way too empty, so I added assets like beach chairs and umbrellas. This area looks so majestic. It's personally one of my most favorite areas that I have ever made. There's just something about it that makes me feel like I'm a king and I'm living the dream. Of course, with new areas, I need new pets, and before pets comes eggs. So I hopped back on Blender and modeled a couple of eggs. These eggs are done, and I'm not even going to comment on them, because these eggs kinda look like shit. Anyways, I imported the eggs and added them in the following order. Leaf egg for the first area, palm egg for the second, surf egg for the third, and castle egg for the last one. Now I need to model pets, so back to Blender again. Oh my god, it's so late, but after many hours, I'm finally done with all the pet models, but now I just want to sleep. I'm feeling fresh today. Nah, I'm joking. I got like 4 hours of sleep that night. Anyways, I started configuring all the pets by adding primary parts to them. Alright, I'm done adding all the primary parts, and now it's time to make the icons, which usually is really fun. I mean, totally fun. Let's go! I'm finally done with all the icons. Let me import them in Roblox Studio and configure these pets once and for all. Currently, in my game, there is a summer event and I want to make a part 2 for it, so I started off by making a tunnel that will lead to the next areas. Although it was simple to make, it took a bit of time because I needed to place down a lot of small rocks, like, I mean a lot. Okay, I'm done with the tunnel and it looks pretty good. There is nothing else I can say about it. But if we go inside, I forgot to fill out these gaps. I'll have to fix that later. But if we go on the other side, currently, there is nothing. It's just the back of this area. I will fill up this whole space with a new scenery and add something really cool for the next area, so stay tuned for that. Before I can make the area, I need assets for it, so I hopped on a 3D modeling software called Blender and started modeling this tall bush. Nah, I'm trying to make a bush, and what the f is this? Why does it look so bad? To fix it, I tried taking a different approach by using a modifier called particle system. It basically creates a bunch of random locations where your assets will be placed. Now the bush looks a little bit better, and I can start creating a tree. I ended up modeling 2 trees and a bunch of assets. How did this even happen? What? Let me show you the process of how I make textures. It's actually really simple. So first of all, I go on Google and search for something that looks like my assets. For example, this time it's like a beach mansion, and I'll try to find a good picture that has a lot of colors. Now I will simply just use the eyedropper tool to select these colors and color a bunch of squares that I'm going to use to later texture my assets. Okay, just like that, I'm done with this texture, and now I can go ahead and color all of my assets. Anyways, let me get back to texturing. Okay, I'm done coloring all of the assets, and they look pretty good, especially this beach mansion. But before I import them in Roblox Studio, I have to do one job, and it's to create a list for all the achievements that you'll be able to obtain. Yup, you heard me right. Achievements are a part of this update. I tried to make the achievement rewards really good, like free 4 spins or a 50% Robux boost. That is pretty overpowered in my opinion, so it's going to be worth grinding for. I handed the list to my scripter and started planning out the layout of the first area. So here's the plan, and I know what you're thinking, it doesn't even look good, and you're right, but it doesn't matter because the idea in my head is really cool. You know those big mansions that have bush mazes in their garden? Well, that's what I'm trying to create right here, and hopefully everything goes according to my plan. I started by placing down the first layer of hills. Once I was done, I started working on a maze. If you're wondering why I'm making a maze in the middle of an area, well, you'll see why later. Anyways, I was done, so it's time to add other assets like trees. Okay, I'm done with this area. Well, sort of. I still need to make this maze, but I'll do it off camera because I don't want to show you the correct route. Before I make the second area, I made a button to open the Achievements UI. Achievements is a long name, so I shortened it to this. Okay, I'm done with the Achievements UI, so now if you click on it, it opens this frame. And yeah, ignore the scaling issues right now, I still have to configure everything. Configuring achievements was pretty easy, all I had to do is follow the list. After I was done with that, it was time to make the second area, which is the one I drew in the plan. So I started off by placing the big mansion and a lot of hills. I found this cool floaty online, but it costs $4, but honestly, I'd say it's worth it, so let me get it. It doesn't really look the same. It looked way better on picture. I forgot that on Roblox Studio, you can only use one texture, and the product came with so many textures, and yeah, I'd say it wasn't really worth it. Well, either I'm done and I don't know how to import models properly, or I just got scammed. Anyways, I added more assets like trees, rocks, and beach chairs. I forgot to anchor literally everything. The house is falling out of the map. And what happened to my car? Okay, now everything should be anchored and this area looks really good. It's definitely one of my most favorite areas that I have ever made. If you have noticed, I also added little details like these supercars which add more luxury, and there are going to be 3 eggs. I still need to make them though, and also the pets. I hopped back on Blender and started modeling the new pets. Janice the artist strikes again. What is this? Oh my god. How can I even make a face that looks this bad? I'm questioning my designing skills right now. Phew, I'm finally done with these pets. It's so late again, and I just want to sleep. It's the next day, and this time I'm actually feeling fresh. I started off the day by configuring pets. So I'm finally done configuring all of these pets, and it's time to make the icons. I know, this is getting repetitive, but I gotta do what I gotta do to keep the game up and running. Let's go! I'm finally done with all of these pet icons, and now I can import them. After I imported them, I had to configure each pet by adding 3 icons, a normal one, a golden one, and a darkened one. Okay, I'm done configuring all of the new pets, and I also did some balancing by highly buffing almost every single pet in the game, except the summer pets, because they were a little bit too overpowered. This Sandominus did way more than the End Dragon, which is obtained by pretty much completing the whole game. But talking about these new pets, like this angel, they are going to be way better than these ones. They will deal so much. Like, just look at this. 730x multiplier on this angel. That's crazy. I have pets, but I don't have any egg models, so I hopped back on Blender and made 3 eggs. Okay, I'm finally done configuring all of the eggs, pets, areas, and all that stuff. So now if I go ahead and open this egg, it should work. There we go, I got a turtle, and I also finally made the maze. If you go inside, it locks your camera on first person and you have 60 seconds to complete this maze. Otherwise, you'll be teleported back right here. Charlie suggested to add top 100 leaderboard tags. My game only shows the top 50 players, but that also works. I started scripting, and little did I know how painful this process will be. Okay, as you can see, chat tags sort of work. So if I go ahead and type something, I'm number 3 on the Rebirth's leaderboard. But there is a slight problem. If I go ahead and equip a game pass, which also adds a custom chat tag, it'll just overlap the current chat tag, and that is the problem. I somehow need to find a fix for this. Yeah, what am I even talking about? Chat tags ain't working. I tried requiring the leaderboard module to add the chat tag in a shared table, and now it should work. Okay, the chat tag should work now, and ignore the fact that I have minus Robux. I was doing some testing, but as you can see, I'm number 1 on the gems leaderboard, and if I go ahead and type something in the chat, it displays the chat tag correctly. Let's go. And the way these chat tags are picked is it looks through all these leaderboards on where you have the highest rank. And for me, it's the gems leaderboard. That's why it displays that I'm number 1 on the gems leaderboard. Well, I want to improve the overall chatting experience in my game by switching to a newer version called Text Chat Service. And yeah, this whole script that I just wrote was now useless. I love how I do first and then think. Now I was trying to figure out how on earth does Text Chat Service work. Phew, I'm finally done setting up the chat tags. It took me around a half of a day to do this, but it's finally done. So if I go ahead and type something in the chat, as you can see, all the chat tags work correctly, and also the leaderboard ones. previously there wasn't this little chat bubble because I was using an old version of the text chat service, and now I switched to a newer one, so everything should look a lot better. My next idea is to balance the game. Progressing past the jungle areas takes ages. By the time you're there, you're already a grandpa. So I highly buffed all the pet multipliers. I'm done balancing the pets, and I also nerfed some of the area prices, but now the pet multipliers are actually insane. I know, I say this almost every update, but just look at this. 2000 multiplier for a darkened, celestial, and dragon. Like, that's crazy. Now it's time to start working on the new areas, but before I can build anything, I need assets, so I hopped on a 3D modeling software called Blender and started modeling a pine tree. I'm done with this tree, but to be honest, it doesn't even look that good. The shape could be a little bit better, so I'll try to remake it. I remodeled the tree, and now it looks a lot better. Then I made a leaf and modeled a bunch of assets. Once I was done, I made a texture and started coloring them. Alright, I'm done coloring this fall asset pack, and it actually looks really good. I love it. Of course, there are going to be more trees. I will still recolor them, but these are all the new assets I'm going to add. And let me import them in Roblox Studio. Now I'm ready to make the first area. As usual, I started by placing down hills and mountains. Then I added assets like trees, fences, and bushes. Okay, I'm done with the first fall area, and as you can see, I added more details like these rock paths and more fences. But overall, this area looks really good, and I'm excited to make the next one. Before I make the next area, I hopped back on Blender and modeled more assets. Okay, I'm done modeling and coloring these assets, and you can probably already guess what I'm going to make. Don't these roads look a little bit familiar? To be honest, I don't know what I'm talking about. These are just regular roads. Anyways, I started building the second area. Oops, I forgot to texture this part. It's supposed to be gray, so let me hop back on Blender and fix it. Well, I never actually filmed the part where I'm fixing it, but now back to building. Okay, I'm finally done with this area, and it looks absolutely amazing. Screw all the other areas, this now is definitely my favorite one. Just look at these roads, they are so well made. Well, don't look at them too closely, there are some issues that I'll have to fix. But if you look at the bottom right corner, there are two new labels. Yes, there is a friends boost and a weekends boost. For every friend that you're in game with, you'll get a 10% Robux boost. And on the weekends, that's where the big grind starts, because there will be a 1.5x Robux multiplier boost. This area turned out amazing, but now it's time to make the third one. I already had the layout, I just needed to add assets. Okay, I'm done with the first area. It looks quite simple, but really good. Anyways, I have to make eggs now, so back to Blender. Before I make eggs, I remembered this update was about quests, so I designed the quest UI. The prize is going to be an exclusive pet, so I hopped back on Blender and modeled that. Okay, I'm done with the bacon pet, and it looks pretty good in my opinion. I tried to make it as good as possible, and I also made a royal chair where the person that is going to give you a quest is going to sit on. Then I made a little scenery for the quest NPC by adding the royal chair and some Robux drops. Okay, I'm done with all the quest UI, but nothing works yet. Everything still needs to be scripted, but now I'll go ahead and make eggs for the new areas. Okay, now it's time to make the eggs, so back to Blender again. I made a fall egg, road trip egg, and a hill egg. Knowing my past with making pets, usually I don't show the process, but this time I will do it. Phew, I'm finally done modeling these pets, and as usual, it's really late. Each time I model pets, it happens to be midnight. One of these pets will have a huge version, maybe the chicken, maybe the turkey, who knows? Guess that in the comment section. It's the next day and I started it by configuring pets. I'm done adding all the primary parts. All I gotta do is change the transparency to 1. And now I need to make pet icons. Oh, finally, I'm done with all the icons, and this chicken looks really good. Anyways, it's time to import them. I configured all the pet icons and egg prices. Okay, I'm done configuring all the eggs and also pets. Now I gotta pray that it actually works. First of all, let me give myself a little bit of Robux because I'm broke. Okay, this should be enough. And now if I go ahead and open this egg, I got a car dog, but for some reason it's displayed as the hedgehog. I think I configured the pets incorrectly, but that's just a visual bug for now. At least the eggs work. Don't worry about that, I fixed it later. Anyways, back to the main point of this update, quests. While I have been working on pets and eggs, my scripter made the quests work. Now this UI pops up and you can go ahead and start 3 quests. And once you complete them, you will get this very exclusive bacon pet. Also, these quests aren't that hard. You'll have to collect 500 Robux, spin the wheel 4 times, and collect 100 chests. For my first idea, I want to add an exclusive area for VIP players. At the moment, the Game Pass sucks. All you get is the chat tag, and yeah, that's it. I don't understand why over 10 people have even bought the Game Pass. So I got straight to work. First of all, I need assets, so I hopped on a 3D modeling software called Blender and started modeling a VIP label. I'm done with modeling the VIP chest and this VIP text. These aren't all the assets I'm going to use, so let me model a couple more. I modeled some pillars and a mountain, and then I colored every single asset. Okay, I'm done texturing this VIP asset pack and it looks pretty clean. I will probably use some of my old assets and just recolor them. Anyways, it's time to import this asset pack in Roblox Studio and start building the VIP zone. When I got back on Studio, I realized I have to remake the entire spawn to add the VIP area, and without a plan, I don't know what I'm doing. So I made a quick drawing in Microsoft Paint. Nah, Janice the artist strikes again. Well, this is the map layout. Right here will be the VIP wall and you'll have access to the VIP area if you own the Game Pass. Here will be the mailbox and the pet index, and for the leaderboards, yeah, that's a future problem for now. I'll figure out where to place them later. I don't know why I even drew the plan, because I ended up just not following it. Anyways, I figured out where the leaderboards will go and started making the actual VIP area. I also added a bunch of assets, including pillars and chains. Okay, I'm done with the VIP area. It doesn't function yet because it still needs scripting. And as you can see, I'm in the process of adding invisible walls. I want to stop glitchers once and for all. But overall, this area looks really clean. I love the royalty feel to it with these waterfalls and these golden chains. Now the VIP Game Pass will have much more purpose because in this area there will be only shiny drops which give you 1.5 times more Robux. What else can I improve? Oh, the lightning. I have already tried to improve it multiple times and yeah, the result was terrible, but this time I will actually follow a tutorial and see how it goes. So this is the new lightning and I thought the old one looked good. Nah, this one is way better. Just look at the contrast. Everything feels much more alive. This is the before and after. Before, after. Before, after. Now that I'm done with the lightning, it's time to make the new areas. But before I can make them, I need assets. So I hopped back on Blender and just started modeling random stuff. Okay, so the theme I'm going for is a festival, and I'm going to add something very special. Look at the target as a hint. Anyways, I continued on modeling assets. Damn, I made so many assets. It'll be painful to texture all of this, but I gotta do what needs to be done. Phew, I'm finally done coloring all of these carnival assets, and it's past midnight again. I'm really tired, but the end result is really good. Well, don't look at the bottom here, I forgot to texture this. Anyways, I'll go get some sleep, and hopefully tomorrow start working on these brand new carnival areas. I got some sick ideas already. For my first area, I started by adding hills and mountains. I thought about a cool mini-game idea where you'll have to hit a target to win rewards, but more about that later. Right now, I have to finish building the area. Okay, I'm finally done with the archer area, and it looks absolutely amazing. I have never spent this much time working on a single area. Guess how many hours this took me to make. Anyways, I used to pump out like 6 areas per update, but they weren't that high quality and players got quickly bored of them. Now I'm more focused on the area having a story. Like for this one, I'm adding a mini game where you'll have to shoot an arrow, hit the target 3 times, and then you'll get a bunch of cool rewards and a chance to get a huge pet. It might seem like I'm making smaller updates because of the fewer area count, but in reality, I'm just spending way more time on each area just to make them perfect. I don't want the players to think of this game just as a grinding simulator. I want them to experience all these cool areas and go on a big adventure throughout completing this entire game. Looking back at all the days I have spent working on this game, it made me a little bit emotional. Anyways, for the minigame I need rewards, so I hopped back on Blender and modeled a huge pet. I'm done modeling the huge pet that you'll be able to get from the minigame, and it's called the Huge Archer Cat. Then I got back on Studio and configured these new pets. To be honest, my game needs settings because sometimes the music is just way too annoying. So I designed a settings UI. So here are all the settings. You'll be able to adjust the sound effect volume, hide or see other people's pets, and also change the volume of the music. Many people were complaining about the music being too loud or just generally bad, so now you can just turn it off, and boom, problem solved. Now it's time to make the second area. As usual, I started by adding hills and mountains. This area is going to be circus themed, so I colored the hills in random colors. Then I added all kinds of assets like balloons, tents, and bushes. I'm done with the second area, and yeah, that's it. There are a couple of tents where you can go inside, and to be honest, I don't know what you would want to do here, so you'll be better off farming currency in the actual area. I might hide some code somewhere, so be aware of that. I got straight to work on the third area because I have no time to waste. It's Friday and the update is in 2 days. For this area, I added the big Ferris wheels and other assets. Alright, I'm done with the festival area, and I'd say it looks pretty good, especially these big Ferris wheels. They turned out to be perfect. Anyways, I gotta make new pets, and of course, also new eggs for all of these new areas. So I hopped back on Blender and modeled a lot of pets. I will skip the process of me texturing these pets, because knowing my past with making pet faces, I'll be embarrassed. Alright, I'm finally done modeling all of these pets, and it's finally not midnight, but it did take me like the entire day to model all of these pets. I made so many, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 6 pets in total, without the golden and darkened versions. There will be also huge versions of some of these pets, so yeah, this update will probably be the biggest in terms of the pet count. I got back on Roblox Studio and added primary parts to all the new pets. Done with the primary parts, time to make the icons. Let's go! I'm finally done with all of these icons. It's not like I'll have to do this process all over again with the exclusive pets, but that's a future problem for now. Let me set up these icons in Studio though. Well, I didn't record the process of me setting up those icons, but after I was done, I started modeling some new eggs. Okay, I'm done modeling all of these new eggs, and the reason I'm so quiet right now, it's because it's past 1 AM. So yeah, I gotta be super quiet. Honestly, making weekly updates is really tiring and it takes up a lot of my energy. I don't want to complain though, but maybe in the future I'll have to release an update every 2 weeks. Many of you guys have been complaining about the UI in my game being bad, and to be honest, I totally agree, so let me remake it. I hopped on Photoshop and made this UI design with 2 versions, a yellow one and a blue one. Then I hopped back on Roblox Studio and started by remaking the potions UI. It took too much of the screen in my opinion, and this version looks way better. I also remade all the buttons by removing the text and adding the UI I made in Photoshop. Now you might wonder, how can I know what these buttons do? Well, I will do something cool with the UI later that makes it perfect to understand. Apart from remaking the entire UI, I will also add a new world this update with many areas. But before I can make them, I need a new currency, so I hopped on a 3D modeling software called Blender and started modeling candy drops. I'm done modeling the candy drops, and now it's time to give them some texture. I hopped on Photoshop and made a candy Robux texture. Alright, so this is how the new candy Robux icon will look, and I'd say it looks pretty clean, but now I gotta texture rest of these candy drops. I'm done with these candy drops and they look so good that I just want to go to my local shop and buy some candy. Now that I'm done making the new currency, it's time to make some new areas. So I hopped back on Blender and modeled a bunch of assets. These aren't candy themed because I'll make a couple more areas for this world and I will add something very cool at the end. You'll see what I mean later. Phew, I'm finally done modeling all of the assets, and yeah, I made a whole private jet and some hotels. These assets aren't even going to be used for the new worlds. I have a better idea for them. I'm going to make 2 more areas, and at the end of it, there is going to be this private jet. Now, let me color all of these assets. Okay, I'm done coloring all of these assets, and damn, it took a while, especially this private jet, but I'm finally done and I can import them in Roblox Studio. For the first area, I started by adding 2 layers of mountains. It makes the area feel more enclosed. Then I started adding a bunch of assets that I previously made, like fences and bushes, and to top it off, I added some fountains. Okay, I'm done with this area, and it looks very simple, but it has that minimalistic look, which also looks fancy. Overall, I really like how this area turned out. It's definitely one of my favorites. Let me make the next area. It'll be the one where you can travel to the next world. And I'll start by adding some hills and creating islands. I went for the resort theme because you're going to use this private jet to travel to the new world. Okay, I'm finally done with the last area, and here's the private jet that I was talking about, which you'll be able to use to travel to a new world. And don't mind the door chilling on the ground, I forgot to anchor it. Before you'll be able to travel, you will first have to visit this NPC, and he will give you a quest. I won't tell you what it is yet, you'll have to find out later. But anyways, this area turned out really good. I love the beach vibe. It's crazy to think that I have made 40 areas already, and now it's time to make a new world. Before I make that, let me model some pets for these new areas. Okay, I'm finally done texturing all of these new pets, and one of them will have a huge version. But before I import them in Roblox Studio, let me make eggs for them. Never mind, I guess I forgot about the eggs and started configuring these new pets. You know what time it is? Yeah, it's time to make icons again. Let's go! I'm done with all the icons and it's time to hop back on Studio and configure them. While I made icons, my scripter made the UI more functional, and let me show you how it looks now. While I have been working on the UI so it's more aesthetic, my scripter was making it more functional. Now if you go ahead and hover over any button, it says what it is, and same with these UIs, and also these on the side. And when you go ahead and get a new item, for example, I'm going to buy a rebirth potion, this UI will pop up that you got a new item, and if you hover over it, it gives a description of what the item does. Hopefully now everything should be easier to understand and the UI isn't so confusing. Okay, now I decided to work on the eggs. Nah, what the f is this? I'm trying to make an airplane egg over here, not whatever this is. Excuse me there, I was generally shocked on how bad the egg was. Anyways, I imported them in Roblox Studio and tested it out. Okay, I'm done configuring all the pets and also eggs. And of course, it's late again and I'm really sleepy, as you can probably tell. But let me give myself a little bit of Robux. Okay, that's actually not enough, I need way more. This is enough. Okay, so let me try and open this egg. And I got the wealthy snake. Everything seems to be working perfect. Okay, it's finally time to make the new world, so I hopped back on Blender and started modeling candy themed assets. Okay, I'm done modeling all of these assets, and this time I went all in. There's so many assets for this new candy world. I'm overreacting a bit. It's not that many, to be honest. Now it's time to texture them. So come on, let me know. Put your hands up, no, baby, nothing's gonna stop us tonight. I swear, that's not me. Oh gosh, what am I even doing when I'm filming? Phew, I'm finally done texturing all of these assets, but at least they look pretty good. But now, it's time to import them in Roblox Studio. Time to start making the new candy world. I started by adding hills and mountains to the first area. Then I added trees and lollipops. Okay, I'm done with the first area of the candy world, and what the f is happening with these drops? Why are they spinning like crazy? Anyways, ignore that. As you can see, I added more details like these chocolate waterfalls, and I also made a new currency spawn, but nothing works yet. Everything still needs to be scripted. When you will enter the candy world, this UI will change the candy Robux. Well, hopefully, if everything goes according to our plan. I got no time to waste, so I started working on the next area right away. This time, I added new assets like chocolate bars. I'm done with the second area and it looks pretty good. These chocolate bars look so yummy that I just want to go to my local shop and buy some. The next area is going to be chocolate themed, so I added a bunch of chocolate bars and donuts. I even added little details like tables and sweets. Now I'm done with this chocolate area and I'd say it looks pretty good. I added as many details as I possibly could and this area looks so tasty. I don't know the theme for the next area yet, but I'll figure something out. Since I don't know the theme, I will first make an animation for a prestige. What? How is this even happening? It might be my scripter, but who knows? I haven't sold this yet, but before you can travel to the new world, you will need a prestige. While I have been working on areas, eggs, and pets, my scripter has made a prestige system. In order to travel to the new world, you first have to talk to the Bacon Lord. He'll say that you aren't ready and you need to first prestige. Prestiging basically resets all of your areas, rebirths, and Robux, but you gain a 50% permanent Robux boost. I'd say this is a good deal, so let me click yes. Now this cool animation will play, and there will be the cinematic screen with some cool sound effects, but you can't hear them in this video. And we're back at the start, where everything started, with 0 Robux and 0 rebirths. But this extra Robux boost is going to help you progress way faster, and you also keep all of your pets, so pretty much you're just going to fly through all of these areas. Once I was done with this, I got an idea for the next area. I added the chocolate river and many more assets. Okay, I'm done with this chocolate land area, and it looks very tasty. Not going to lie, I want a donut right now. There are some issues with this area, like this beam glitching in the floor. I don't know why it's happening, but I'll have to figure it out. And of course, I also forgot to anchor this part of the vending machine. What's a video without me forgetting to anchor something? While making the next area, I found a crazy feature about the brush tool. Yo, why did nobody tell me that the brush tool plugin can do this? Oh my god, this is going to make placing heals so much easier. Anyways, I continued on improving this area by adding more assets. Okay, I'm almost done with this area, and I want to show you a trick of how I can make it look a lot better. Let me go ahead and add a new texture to these trees. Let me wait until it loads, and boom, the area looks 10 times better. Everything blends in perfectly. With new candy areas, I definitely need new pets, so let me hop back on Blender and model some. Okay, I'm finally done modeling all of the pets. Nah, I'm just kidding. These aren't even half of the pets I'm going to model for these new areas. This was recorded a while ago, and now I hopped back on Blender and finished modeling all of these pets. Okay, I'm done modeling all of the candy pets, and one of my fans offered me to make me some exclusive pets, and these look really good. I will texture these off camera, but now I have to make eggs for these new pets, and also a new exclusive egg. The exclusive egg is going to be mermaid themed, and the rest of the eggs represent each area's theme. Okay, I'm done modeling all of these eggs, and it's time to import them in Roblox Studio, along with all of these pets. First of all, I configured all of the new pets by adding primary parts to them. I'm done adding primary parts to all of these new pets, but I forgot to make this unicorn a huge. I'll do that later. But now let me set the transparency of these primary parts to 1 and start making pet icons. I want to do something about these promotion boards. They are too basic and you get no rewards for liking the game. So let me change that. I want to create a like goal reward system, but only the top games have this feature and I feel like it'll be very complicated to make. But there is nothing me and my scripter can't do. So I started by making a billboard. And then I added the surface GUI with a bunch of UI elements. Okay, I'm done with this surface UI thing, and now I gotta make the actual like egg. You will not receive mermaid exclusive eggs, that's just not happening. Every 50 likes, all the people that have liked the game will receive a free egg. So let me hop on a 3D modeling software called Blender and make a like egg. Why does the heart or like, whatever you want to call it, look broken? This is not a heartbreak egg, it's a like egg, and I need to change something. Yeah, the egg was looking like my heart after my crush rejected me. I fixed the heart and started texturing it. Alright, I'm done texturing the like egg, and as you can see, I ended up remodeling a bit. I think it looks a lot better now. In the egg, there are going to be a lot of rewards like potions, pets, and even a huge pet. So I have to model some rewards. For the rewards, I made a like lion and a like bird. Now it was time to texture these models. Alright, I'm done coloring all of these new pets, and to be honest, they look like they could be from a Valentine's event. But considering the fact that all of the social media platforms use hearts as likes, I decided to do the same for my pets. Anyways, I gotta import these in Roblox Studio now, and one of these pets will be a huge. I started by adding these little parts that hold the pets together. Alright, I'm done configuring these like pets, and now it's time to make pet icons. At least this time I'll only have to make 9.
Wait, what? How is this even possible? Look where this thing flipped. It literally landed on right here on my monitor upside down. This is a huge trick shot.
I'm done, and it's time to import these icons in Roblox Studio. I hopped back on Studio and realized the light goal doesn't stand out, so I slightly remade it. Let me show you the pets that you'll be able to get from just liking the game. You'll be able to get all of these and a huge like bird. It looks pretty cool in my opinion. This huge will probably be the easiest one to obtain because all you have to do is just like the game and you'll receive a like egg every 50 likes. While I was remaking it, my scripter was done with the code, and let me show you how this works. Okay, my scripter is done with this like goal reward, and it was quite complicated to make. I needed to create a proxy in Google Apps that allows me to get data from Roblox.com. Sadly, Roblox doesn't have a built-in feature which allows you to check how many likes your game has, so we had to improvise. Apart from this, my scripter added many more cool features. Let me show you them. So now if you go into inventory, there is a separate tab for eggs. Currently, I have none because I already opened all of my like eggs. As you can see, I have some of these new pets. But now, if I go ahead and buy some Robux eggs, they will appear in my inventory. Eggs aren't tradable though, maybe they will be in the future, we'll have to see. Now that I'm done with that, it's time to spice up my game with mini games. The first one is going to be a starter obby, and let me start by making a portal for it. Once I was done, I started making the obby. So here's the first obby. Nothing works yet because everything still needs to be scripted. There will be a timer displaying nothing happened there, excuse me. And okay, now let me just not fall and do this obby real quick. And I'm at the end where you'll be able to get a lot of rewards. As I said, everything still needs to be scripted, so I'll show you how everything looks when my scripter is done. To be honest, why is the summer portal still here? It's September. Okay, I will remove it, but I want to make a new event and it's going to be back to school. So I started by redesigning the portal. Once I was done, I hopped on Photoshop to make a new currency. It's going to be called School Robux. I'm done and this icon looks pretty clean. I love it. Now I just have to use the same texture for the new school currency models. Then I hopped on Blender and colored the chest and crates to make them look school themed. I'm done modeling the school drops and they look pretty good, especially this school chest. I added some particles just to make it a little bit more special and more valuable. Now I have to start making assets for the actual school event and all the areas. Back to Blender again, and this time I modeled a ruler and a bunch of assets. I'm sort of done with these school assets. I will probably make way more later. I'll have to see because I'm still thinking of how the areas will look. Texturing them was pretty easy. I'm done texturing these school assets and I added a bit more details like numbers on this roller and screws on this chair. Anyways, let me import these assets in Roblox Studio now. With these new assets, I improved the portal and it looks pretty good. Yeah, there was supposed to be a recording of me making the first area, but I don't know where it went. But it looks like I needed to model more assets, like weights. I'm done with the gym equipment, and it looks pretty good. Me making these assets makes me want to go to the gym. Anyways, let me import these in Roblox Studio. I made a wall gym and added some climbing ladders and a basketball hoop. Phew, I'm done with this sports classroom and I absolutely love it. This time I did something different. Instead of placing down hills and mountains, I actually built a wall building and it looks pretty good. Hopefully the rest of the areas will be as good as this one. Okay, on to the next area. This one is going to be classroom themed. I added windows and other assets like whiteboards and desks. Okay, and I'm done with the second area. As you can see, it's classroom themed. This area brings back so many memories. It feels like I'm back at first grade. Oh gosh, time flies by way too fast. This year I graduated my school, and just thinking about a classroom is a little bit emotional. Anyways, let me start making the next area. I have a sick idea for the next area, and I started by adding walls and windows. Then I added lockers, lights, and other assets. I'm done with the locker room area and it looks crazy, but before you can see it, let me show you what I added in this area. I added some rulers, pencils, books, and 2 bookshelves to make the area have a little bit more detail. Okay, now that I'm done showing that area, let me show you the new one. Yeah, it's really shiny and I love it. Out of all of these areas, this one is definitely my favorite, but now let me start making the next area. This area is going to have the classic style, hills and mountains, but I'm going to make it unique by adding a basketball court. I also added other assets like fences. I'm done. No, bro, I forgot to anchor the baskets. Okay, now it's fixed and the court looks pretty good. I love it. Now I need to start making eggs and pets for all of these new school areas. Now that I'm done with the areas, I made a list for all the pets I'm going to make. They're all sports themed because I loved sports classes in my school. Then I hopped back on Blender and modeled them. Alright, I'm done with the pet models and I'll skip the process of me texturing them because these are the faces I usually make. Yeah, I got nightmares from them. Like I said, let me keep the texturing process off camera. Phew, I'm finally done texturing and modeling all of these pets, and they look really good, especially this gym hamster. I'll probably make a huge version for this hamster. Anyways, I gotta import these in Roblox Studio now. I added those little parts that hold the pets together, and after I was done, I made pet icons. Okay, I'm finally done with all the pet icons, and as usual, it's pretty late. Well, it's like not that late this time, but I'm still pretty tired, and I'll import these icons tomorrow. Configuring pet multipliers is pretty boring, but I got to do what needs to be done. Okay, I'm done configuring all of the pets and also eggs. Let me see if this football egg works. I'll go ahead and open 8 and let's see what I'll get. Okay, everything is way too bright. It's either these lights or this sun that is making the lightning way too bright. I easily fixed that by changing the brightness, and my scripter was done scripting the first mini game. Let me show you how it looks. Okay, my scripter is pretty much done with the entire obby system. There are some final things that need to be added, but they aren't that big, so let me show you how it works. So once you touch this part, a timer appears, and it tracks your best time. As you can see, my best time is 23 seconds, and let's see if I can beat that. Well, yeah, I'm definitely not beating that, but let's see what I'll get as a reward. And I got nothing. There might be a bug. My scripter fixed these issues, and I started working on a second obby. This one is going to be winter themed. I used many parts like ice blocks and kill bricks. I'm almost done with this huge update, but something is missing. It's a new exclusive egg, so I hopped back on Blender and modeled a bunch of pets. Okay, I'm done with these pets, and I want to thank this guy on Discord that made the art. You can also create your own arts and submit them in my Discord server. You might get lucky like this guy, and I'll pick yours. But now, I need to make an egg for all of these pets. Making the egg was quite complicated, but eventually I got it to look good. Then I imported these pets in Roblox Studio and started configuring them. I didn't record the process of me setting up these icons, but let me just show you how it looks. Okay, I'm done configuring all of the pets and also the exclusive egg. Let me go ahead and buy 3. And as you can see, I got 3 new classic eggs. Now let me go into my inventory and open them. Let's see what I'll get. I got 2 Buildermans and a noob. Perfect, everything works, and we're getting closer and closer to the like goal for everyone to get a like egg. First of all, I want to make server-sided messages that give players useful tips and reminders to like the game. Speaking of that, you should smash that like button. Anyways, I started by creating a new script. And here I'm going to use the text chat service and math.random to pick a message that's going to be displayed in the chat every once in a while. Okay, and the chat messages aren't appearing, which means I coded something wrong. And this is the exact reason why I don't script and prefer to model and build instead. Let me see what's the issue though. It shouldn't be that hard to fix. Fixing that was pretty easy, and now it should work. Okay, and now it works, and apart from me just begging you to like the game, these messages also give you little tips, like for example, you can use mini games to earn rewards. They're pretty useful for new players. But I do need to increase the cooldown, they're spawning in way too fast right now. Next up, I want to improve the shop. I will add an option to buy 8 eggs. It's going to be 30% cheaper than buying one egg 8 times. I also needed to script a bit, but I did that off camera. Let's see if it works now. So here's how you'll be able to open 8 eggs. First of all, you have to actually buy them by spending a little bit of Robux, but it looks like I don't have enough inventory space. Okay, now I should be able to purchase this, and I got 8 classic eggs. Now let me head to the inventory, and I can choose to open 8 eggs at the same time. And let's see what I'll get. Yo! 2 huges! Oh my god, my luck is good today. Opening 8 eggs at the same time gives you insane luck. Last update, I added mini games, specifically obbies, and you need to try to complete them as fast as you can to get a personal record. I want players to compete with each other, so I will add leaderboards. Alright, I'm done making the leaderboards and my scripter finished scripting them, and as you can see, it displays your best time. Also, you might have noticed that there is a quest on top of my screen, and that's related to a tutorial which will be for new players. I will show you that later. Now, I want to make new areas for a school event. So I hopped on a 3D modeling software called Blender and started modeling assets. Okay, I'm done modeling these playground assets, and as you can see, I made a couple more, like this swing and also this house with a slide. Anyways, let me start texturing them. Alright, I'm done coloring all of these assets, and they look pretty good. Especially this thing. I don't know how to call it. It's like a playground house. Anyways, I have to import these assets in Roblox Studio now. For the first area, I started by placing down hills and mountains. Then I added assets like trees and swings. I'm done with the first area, and you might have noticed that half of the areas are sports themed, even though it's a back to school event. Well, I simply love sports, and I think schools should definitely have more lessons related to sports, so that's why I'm adding all of these areas. It's not like the government watches these videos though, so it won't really make an impact. First of all, I started by adding paths. Once I was done, I added hills and mountains. Then I added more paths and assets. Okay, I'm done with this area, and it looks pretty good, especially these little slides, but let me show you the coolest part. It's these trampolines. Watch what happens when I jump on them. I get flung into the air. It's pretty cool, but I can just jump out of the map, so let me fix that. I changed the jump power, and now it was way better. For these new areas, I need new pets, so let me make a list for that. So here are all the pets I'm going to make: a baby cat, baby dog, bull, leopard, and a huge leopard. Now let me hop back on Blender and model them. I started by modeling a baby cat. I'm done modeling these pets, and I added an extra one, which is a wasp. Now it's time to texture all of these pets. Usually I don't show the process of how I make these textures, but this time I'll be nice and show it. Okay, so this is how I usually make pet icons. I hop on Photoshop and add a pet face. Usually I draw them myself, but this one is from Google, I think. Then I add a lot of rectangles which are colored in the colors that the pet is going to be. And I do this for all three versions, the normal, golden, and darkened. Let me show you a real example of me making a baby cat. I swear this is not fair. Every time I film the process of me making pet faces, it just ends up looking trash. Like off camera they're so good, but when I film it, it just ends up looking like this. This is the exact reason why this process is usually off camera. Phew, I'm finally done texturing all of these pets, and they look pretty good, especially these baby ones. They could have been an exclusive egg, but I have ran into a problem. As you can see, I have so many pets to the point that it's making my computer lag, and every time I make more, it gets even laggier. Eventually, I'm just going to make my computer crash. And I don't know what to do, but now let me import these pets in Roblox Studio. First of all, I started by adding parts and weld them together to the pet model. I'm done, and now it's time to make pet icons. And just like that, I'm done. Time to set them up in Roblox Studio. Before I do that, I will make an egg for every new area. Alright, I'm done modeling these eggs, and I really like this one. It just looks unique. Anyways, let me import these in Roblox Studio. Then I configured the eggs, pets, and areas, and tested it out. Okay, I'm done configuring all the pets, eggs, and all that stuff. And it looks like I finally didn't forget to anchor the eggs. Let's go. Okay, let's see what I'll get. And I got a baby cat. Everything works, and this pet looks really good. It's time to make a new exclusive egg, so I hopped on my Discord server and found this guy that made an exclusive egg concept, and I'll try to remake it in Blender. This took a while. Alright, I'm done modeling these exclusive pets, and they look pretty good, but now it's time to give them some color by texturing them. So I'm finally done coloring all of these pets, and they look absolutely amazing, and I want to thank this guy on Discord that made the art concept. Without you, these pets wouldn't look nearly as good. But as you can see, there is still an egg that I have to make, so let's get to work. I used the art as a reference image, and it turned out pretty good. Before I start configuring these pets, let me show you something. My scripter is done with the tutorial, and it's pretty cool. So every new player that joins my game will have to complete this tutorial. It's really simple. First of all, you have to go to this highlighted area and collect 30 drops. Once you're done, you need to follow this arrow and open this egg 3 times. The next step is going to be unlock the first area, but since I have it already unlocked, I'll just complete the tutorial. And for the reward, I received every single potion. This will definitely help all the new players progress in the game. Okay, now I can configure the pets and make icons for them. Phew, I'm done, and even though this cat is probably going to be a common, it looks really good. I imported the pets in Roblox Studio and made an egg for them. Okay, I'm done configuring the exclusive egg, and as you can see, I also improved the shop UI. It looks way better now, but let me go ahead and buy 8 Greek eggs. And for some reason, I got classic eggs. It should be fixed now. Let me go ahead and buy 8 eggs and let's go. It works. And now I can go ahead and open them. I always forget something. Anyways, it's fixed now. Yo, I got the huge. Let's go. Let me equip it. Oh my god, I got the huge. Yo, it looks sick. The next thing I want to fix is music. Right now, I'm using a random song I found on the toolbox, but let me fix that by hiring a professional. I have 2 songs, one for the candy world and other for the overworld. And I want them to be playing depending on where you are. So I wrote a simple script that should work. Now let me try switching the worlds. Perfect, it works, and my scripter also added a low graphics mode. This will be useful for mobile devices. I'm now focusing on improving the mechanics of the game, but it's also time to make some new candy areas. So I hopped back on Blender and modeled some assets. Nah, my artist skills strike again. Why does bro look so creepy? I swear, every time I have to make a face, it just turns out bad. Alright, I'm done with these candy assets, and it's time to texture them. And that's exactly what I did. Alright, I'm done coloring all of these candy assets, and this gingerbread man looks so happy. My man is just enjoying his life. Anyways, let me import these in Roblox Studio. The first area is going to be cotton candy themed, and as usual, I started by adding hills and mountains. Then I added assets like trees and candies. I'm done, and this area looks pretty good. Imagine there were biomes like this in real life. That would be crazy. Now let me make the second area. This one is going to be underwater, so I made an entrance and added some mountains. Then I placed down a couple of lollipops, rocks, and trees. Apart from that, I wrote a script that does something cool. You'll see what it is in a second. Phew, I'm finally done with this area, and as you can see, I also added something similar to the ocean area where if you touch this part, The ships should disappear, but for some reason they're still here. And I forgot to anchor half of these rocks. I fixed it by anchoring some parts and fixing the ships, and now it works. Last update, a big issue appeared. When you open 8 eggs, the game completely freezes for about 2 seconds. Imagine playing on a Nokia, it would literally crash your game. This needs to be fixed as fast as possible, but it was quite complicated since the problem was with the data system, which is used in nearly every script in the game. Me and my scripter were working on this for an entire week until I found a fix that might do the trick. Well, I thought I found the problem, but not really. It's way better, but not fully fixed. As you can see, it still lags a bit, but it's definitely way better. This problem is really annoying. Me and my scripter have been working for an entire week trying to fix this issue, and it's still here. One day later, I found the issue, and it should be fixed. Never mind, I was able to fix this issue after some time. Now, if you go ahead and open the eggs, it's buttery smooth, and there are no issues. Same with every other thing, like deleting the pets and equipping them. Now, it's time to start working on a new Halloween event. I will start by making a new Halloween portal. Fun fact, I was making this while at school. The grind never stops, you know? Okay, I'm done with the portal, and it looks pretty good, but okay, I forgot to anchor these rocks. I can literally fling them everywhere. Anyways, before I can make the new areas, I need to make a new currency, and also some new Halloween drops. Like I said, it's time to make a new currency, so I hopped on Photoshop and made a design. I'm done with the Halloween currency, and it looks good, but at the same time like a tiger. It'll probably look way better when it's actually in the drops, and speaking of that, I need to model them. I ended up using a different design because I asked you guys in my Discord server which icon looks better, and the purple one won. But now it's time to make some new drops, so I hopped on a 3D modeling software called Blender and started working on a spooky chest. I'm done modeling the new Halloween drops, and now it's time to texture them. Okay, I'm done coloring all of the Halloween assets, and I added some extra spooky Robux inside of the chest to make it look a little bit better. I imported all the drops and configured them. So I'm done creating these Halloween drops, and I also made a candy bucket, which will be pretty rare, but if you collect it, you'll get a lot of spooky Robux. Now that I have these drops, I can start creating the new areas. And to make them, I need assets, so back to Blender again. I started by modeling some spooky trees. And later on, houses and fences. This time I went all in with the assets. I made houses, trees, lanterns, pumpkins, pretty much everything that you can think of. I really want to make this Halloween update insane, but I'm not done with these assets. I still need to add colors to them. I added colors by texturing these models. Phew, I'm finally done texturing all of these Halloween assets, and damn, it took a while, especially these houses. And some of these assets will look even better, because I'm going to add glowy parts inside of these pumpkins, lanterns, and windows. Before I start making the first area, I need a map layout, so I quickly drew one. To be honest, I have no clue what I'm doing here. I'm sort of listening to a lecture and making a map layout at the same time. I guess I'm good at multitasking, or am I? Trust me, the area will look way better than this drawing. I started by adding hills and mountains. Then I added a bunch of trees, but they don't really match the hills, so I made a new texture. After that, I added way more trees and an NPC. Okay, I'm done with the first Halloween area and I added some cool features. Let me just show you them. So if you go into this portal, everything becomes dark. And here are the new Halloween drops, which give you spooky Robux. Apart from new areas, there will also be a vampire lord, which you're going to have to talk to. My scripter still needs to script it though, so nothing works yet. These candies are also related to this guy. I don't want to expose what you'll need to do with these, so you'll see later. For the second area, instead of adding hills, I added fences. I want this area to be graveyard themed. So I also added trees and graves. Okay, I'm done with this area and it looks very spooky, which is exactly what I need. But it looks like I forgot to anchor these lanterns. I swear, every video I keep on forgetting to anchor stuff. This is getting out of control. Anyways, in this empty space, there will be something very cool. You'll see what I mean later. Apart from that, I also added some new Halloween music, but you can't hear it in this video, so you'll just have to play the update. Now let me make the next area. The first thing I did was create a road. After that, I added a lot of houses to create a neighborhood. But something is missing. It's a mailbox for each house, so I hopped on Blender and modeled a mailbox. Okay, I got the mailbox and let's get back to building the neighborhood. Now I could continue on by placing mailboxes, adding trees, and rocks. Okay, I'm done with the neighborhood and it looks really good. It has to be one of the best areas that I have ever made. These pumpkins and the glowy lights give a spooky vibe and I really like it since Halloween is around the corner. Now I would usually start making pets, but before I do that, I have something to show you and it's for the second area. It's a spooky upgrade machine made by a fan and I'm going to add it in the second area. It looks like I forgot to anchor something. I'll be right back. Okay, it's fixed, and here's the cool thing I was talking about, spooky upgrades. You'll be able to spend spooky Robux to gain certain boosts that will also apply after this event ends. This means these are limited time, and after it's gone, you'll never be able to obtain them again. Anyways, let me start making pets now. I was originally planning to make pets for these new areas, but first let me make a new exclusive egg, and it's not going to be the ordinary egg you see in the shop, it'll be something else. I hopped on Blender and modeled some pets for the new egg. Okay, I'm done with these pets, and this time these aren't for the new areas, it's for a quest. You'll be able to get this exclusive egg for completing a Halloween exclusive quest, and it'll only be obtainable during the event. Anyways, let me color these assets now. Texturing took a while, but eventually I was done. Okay, I'm done texturing, and I don't know which pet should have a huge version. They both look pretty good. But now it's time to make pet icons for all of these new pets. This is definitely my favorite part. Yeah, definitely. Phew, I'm finally done, and let me import these icons in Roblox Studio. I configured these in Studio and tested it out. I imported the pets in Roblox Studio, and this is how they look. I really love how the Reaper turned out, it looks perfect. You'll be able to obtain these pets from this vampire lord that'll give you a quest, but it doesn't work since everything still needs to be scripted. I'll show you how it looks once my scripter is done. While my scripter was scripting the quests, I decided to improve the hatching animation. Now it has way more tweens and looks smoother. So my scripter is done with the quests, and let me show you how they work. So first of all, you have to find this Vampire Lord NPC. He will say a bunch of stuff about a quest that you have to complete, and once this dialogue finishes, he will prompt you up with this UI. So you have to do 3 quests to get an exclusive egg. You can either back out and be scared or go ahead and accept the quest. Okay, I'm done with this, and it will reward me a cauldron egg which appears in my inventory, and I can open it for a chance to get a huge Grim Reaper. And let's see what I'll get. I got a Reaper, let's go, that's actually pretty rare. Now it's time to make a part 2 for the Halloween update, and to do that I need assets. So I hopped on a 3D modeling software called Blender and started modeling a bunch of Halloween assets. Okay, I'm done modeling all of the new assets. Nah, I'm just kidding, there's no way I would make only 2 ghosts. I want this update to be insane, so let's get back to work. Phew, I'm finally done modeling all of these assets, and as you can see, this time I went all in. I made castles, houses, cactuses, witch brooms, and many more assets. These assets took so long to make, especially the castles. Anyways, now I have to color all of these spooky assets. I colored them by adding textures. Alright, I'm finally done texturing all of these assets, and I might sound a little bit quiet because it's really late. I think they turned out pretty good, but now I'll go catch some sleep and import these tomorrow. It's a new day, and I improved the portal by adding ghosts, but I want them to fly, so I wrote some lines of code. Okay, I was trying to do something cool, but what the f is happening to this huge? What did I do wrong here? It turns out I forgot to set the proper names, and now it should work. So this is what I was trying to achieve. I wanted to make the ghosts fly up and down, but I might need to change the animation style for this one. It just looks weird. But overall this looks good because it adds more curiosity to the player when he wants to enter this portal. I'll fix up this animation and start working on the new areas. The first area is going to be a ghost town, and I started by placing down hills and mountains. Once I was done, I added a bunch of assets like ghosts, houses, trees, and even cactuses. Okay, I'm done with this ghost town area, and I added some cool features that you can probably guess what it's going to be. My scripter still needs to script this, so once he's done, I'll show you how this works. Apart from that, I also buffed these drops a bit, so you should get more. Apart from that, I also slightly buffed these drops, so you should get more spooky Robux. Overall, I think this area looks pretty good. I tried to make it as detailed as possible, and I love it. But now, I need to start making the next area. Before I do that, there is an issue. People have hundreds of huge octopuses, and you might wonder, how? Well, there's this thing called the wishing well, and it has no cooldown. I need to fix that. I added a 1-minute cooldown to hopefully fix this. So I finally added a cooldown to this wishing well. It was honestly getting out of control, and people were hatching this huge like crazy. You could take out an auto clicker and literally just spam this button, but now you need to wait 1 minute until you can claim your reward. I know a lot of people might get mad at me, but I made the price 2 times cheaper as a compensation. This should make the huge octopus rarer and more valuable. Now it's time to make the second area, and I started by adding mountains. Then I added the Halloween assets I previously made. Dang, I forgot to unmute, and there's no audio. What I said is that this area looks cool and has secrets hidden around the map. Good luck finding them. While I made this area, my scripter was scripting the trick-or-treat system, and let me show you how it works. Okay, my scripter is done with the trick-or-treat system, and this is how it works. You can click E to trick or treat and you'll get a random reward every 5 minutes. It starts from just basic potions all the way up to the huge witch cat and the cauldron egg. So make sure you trick or treat on all of these houses. Maybe you'll get lucky and get a huge. Now it's time to make the last Halloween area. I started by creating a layout for the castle and added hills. Then I decorated the area with many more assets. So I'm done with the last area, and this castle looks spooky. I love it. Apart from this area looking good, there is also an event where every 10,000 collected Robux drops, you will get a free egg. It's not going to be this exclusive egg, it'll be a new one, which I'll make right now. I hopped back on Blender and started modeling the egg. I'm done with this night egg, and it's a night egg with a K, not a night egg. Get what I mean? Anyways, now I have to start modeling pets. The pets are going to be night themed, and I started by making a night cat. To color them, I used a color palette and it went flawlessly. Okay, so I'm done texturing these spooky pets and also the night egg. This video is going to be a huge and it'll be pretty rare. Anyways, I have to start configuring these. Before I start configuring, there is a new feature that is coming to Roblox Simulator 2. Let me show you. While I have been making areas and pets, my scripter has improved the trading system. You can now trade eggs, and let me show you how it works. So once you're in the trade, you can either choose to put in your pets as usual or switch to eggs. Which currently, I don't think I have any, that's why it doesn't show up. Okay, now they appeared, and as you can see, I have 8 eggs. I'll put in 4 and trade it to my alt account. As you can see, I got 4 eggs here and also 4 eggs there, so it perfectly works. Now you're able to trade almost every egg, except for these ones, which you open for currency. This is a pretty cool feature that a lot of you guys were requesting. Now I can start configuring these pets. Alright, I'm done with the icons, and this time it wasn't even that bad making them. Usually I complain a lot. Now I need to set these up in studio, along with the night egg. I forgot to record the process of me setting them up, but it's boring anyways, so I'll just show you how the egg will be obtained. Okay, I'm done setting up the night egg, and you'll be able to get it from this Robux drop event. Just collect a lot of drops, and you'll have a lot of them, just like me. There is also this Dominus egg that I have, and it's the first exclusive egg in Roblox Simulator 2. Barely anyone has these pets, so I might bring it back. Anyways, back to the night egg. Let me go ahead and open it. Let's see what I'll get. I got a night pug. Let's go. Hopefully 10,000 drops are enough. Knowing you guys, will probably collect this in a minute and get hundreds of night eggs. For these new areas, I need new pets, so I created a list, starting from a goofy bunny all the way up to a huge vampire lord. Now let me just hop on Blender and model these pets. Phew, I'm done modeling these pets, and a lot of these will have a huge version. I'm thinking this black cat will be a huge, and also this vampire bacon lord. Anyways, now I have to color these. While making textures, I ran into some problems. Why does the face look so goofy again? But I mean, the pet is called Goofy Bunny, so I'm good. Yeah, I'm an expert at making pet faces. Anyways, I got back to work. Phew, I'm finally done coloring these pets, and it took me nearly half of my day. But you'll be able to get the man, the myth, the legend, Vampire Lord as your own pet, and it'll probably have a huge version. Anyways, since I'm in Blender, I might as well make the new eggs. These eggs will represent each of the areas, and I started by making an egg for the ghost town. Alright, I'm done with these eggs, and they look pretty good. Now I can import all of these assets in Roblox Studio and start configuring them. I configure the pets by adding primary parts. Phew, I'm done configuring all the pets and also the new eggs. All there's left to do is to make the pet icons. Okay, I'm done configuring all the pets and also eggs. Let's see if this works. Okay, I got a bunch of witch owls. Let me open it again. I want to get the black cat. Okay, there we go. I got it. And these pets look pretty good. Let's see if this castle egg also works. I'll go ahead and open it. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Vampire Lord as your own pet. I'm so excited to release this update. I still want to add many features before releasing the update, and one of them is to add a new limited time egg. And to make it, I hopped on Blender and started modeling assets. What is happening with my Blender? I hope it's just a visual bug and there's nothing wrong with my assets. It was just a visual bug. Anyways, I'm done with the assets. Okay, so I made a bunch of random gem assets and also a gem egg. It's pretty late right now, so I will import these tomorrow. The next day, I was feeling fresh and started creating a scenery for the new egg. Okay, I'm done with the new gem exclusive egg, which will only be here for a limited time. I forgot to show you, but I also made a new pet, which is a gem dragon, and it also has a huge version. It'll probably be very rare considering the egg isn't that cheap and it's limited. Anyways, let's open it and see what I'll get. Okay, there we go. I got the gem dragon, which is pretty good. A 1.5k multiplier. And here's also the huge. It looks very good. I started by checking my Discord server and found a bug. Some people said that their exclusive eggs are not disappearing from their inventory even though they had opened them. I need to fix that. This should do the trick. Okay, so now all the issues with the egg inventory should be fixed. Before, sometimes it glitched and you couldn't open the last egg. It was because you never actually had that egg. You had already opened it, but it displayed a visual bug because the client wasn't properly being updated. But now you should be able to open your last eggs, and once you open them, they should be gone forever. Next up, I'm going to add a new feature that everyone has been asking for: hoverboards. I know, many other simulators have hoverboards like Pet Simulator, but I don't care because this feature has been requested for ages. I started by opening a 3D modeling software called Blender and started modeling a couple of hoverboards. Alright, I'm done with the first hoverboard design, and it doesn't even look that bad. I'm going to make way more versions though, so let's get back to work. Let me also texture it, and let's see how it looks. So I ended up texturing this first hoverboard, and it looks pretty good, and will look even better once I import it in Roblox Studio. But now I have to make 3 other hoverboard designs. This is only the starter hoverboard, you aren't ready for the exclusive ones. Anyways, I started modeling them. Once I was done, I added textures. Phew, I'm done texturing all of these hoverboards, and what do you think? They're pretty decent considering the fact I have never made hoverboards. Anyways, let me import these in Roblox Studio and start to... I don't know what to do with them actually. I still need to figure that out. In Studio, I added particles to spice these hoverboards up. But let's just say, for the booster hoverboard, the particle was a little too big. Hey yo, what the f is happening? There is a volcanic eruption. Oh my god, this particle is insane. Okay, I'm done adding all the particle effects, and this hoverboard is insane. You got flames coming out of it. It will probably be the most expensive one because of how cool it is. Anyways, I have to start making icons for these hoverboards. Yeah, now pets aren't the only assets that I need icons for. Here we go again. So I'm done with the hoverboard icons, and this one doesn't even look like a hoverboard, it's a wall rocket. Anyways, let me import these icons in Roblox Studio. I configure these hoverboards and let my scripter do his magic and make them work. I'll show you how these hoverboards function, more about that later. To be honest, I could improve the UI by making it more compact. There's a lot of useless stuff that I could combine. First of all, I combined the boosts and potions together and remade the shop UI. Alright, I'm done with the new UI layout and I changed a lot of things. First of all, the update log is now in the bottom right corner, and I'll also make the background transparent. Then the boosts are moved to the bottom left corner, including all the potions, and there is a new hoverboard button. It still needs to be scripted though. But if we go into the shop, everything is changed. Now you can switch between tokens and Robux on the side using these buttons, and I also made the Game Pass inventory button way bigger. Many people were confused on where to find their Game Passes. Also, the tokens button is moved to the bottom, and there are 3 new Hoverbird skins that you'll be able to purchase in the shop. Hold up. If we take a closer look at the footage, we can see an Auto Rebirth Game Pass? Chad, is this real? Of course it is. This feature has been requested for ages, and I'm finally adding it, and I started by making a proper icon for the Game Pass. I was done with the icon, but it doesn't look that good. I remade it later and also made a Game Pass icon. This icon is definitely the highest quality one, but you can also see my bad drawing skills. If you look very closely, the lines aren't that smooth, but from far, everything's good, and that's what matters. Now, it just needs to be scripted. I'll leave that to my scripter again while I will make some new areas. I hopped back on Blender and modeled a bunch of candy related assets. Okay, I'm done modeling all the candy assets, and I made a waffle house, couple of waffles, this kind of ice cream, strawberries, bananas, and also a banana cake. Texturing was really easy because I'm finally using a proper color palette. Okay, I'm done texturing these candy assets, and to be honest, they don't even match. There are waffles, fruits, and also an ice cream. But I have pretty cool area ideas, so I'll show you that these assets work great together. Before I make new areas, let me show you a feature that I added. Okay, so I improved the locking system. Now when you click on the icon, there's this yellow border and you can select all the pets you want to lock. Click on the icon and boom, they're all locked and secured. Along with this, I also improved the deleting system. Now if you want to quickly select the pets, you can hold and hover over them. It's a little bit buggy because sometimes the hover doesn't get detected, but it should be easier to select multiple pets. Sadly, the click and drag feature was removed due to lag and inconsistency. Apparently, people with full inventories cannot even load in my game. I tested it out and it's true, so let me fix it. I have no clue why it wasn't working in the first place, but now when you load in, you'll be able to skip the loading process if you cannot get in. This should hopefully fix all the problems with people not being able to join my game. Finally, I can start making new areas, and I started by adding a bunch of hills and mountains. This area is going to be strawberry themed. So here is how the first candy area turned out. It's bright, colorful, and overall aesthetic. I really like this area and I hope you do too. Anyways, I'll start working on the next one. Before I do that, my scripter made a new feature to the potions, and it's really cool. Let me show you. Okay, so while I have been making areas and doing other things, my scripter has remade the potion system. Now there is a whole separate frame in the inventory for potions. You can see the amount you have and you can also use them here. And of course, you can still buy them in the shop. Many people were requesting this feature and it's finally here. Enjoy! Back to making areas. The next one is going to be banana themed, and I started by adding a path. Then I added some assets like trees and bananas. So I'm done with the banana area and I changed a lot of things. First of all, I changed the colors of these mountains and trees and also added these little rocks for some extra detail. I think this area looks pretty clean. What do you think about it? I've got some exciting news. My scripter is done with the Auto Rebirths Game Pass, and let me show you how it works. A lot of you guys have been requesting this for ages, and it's finally here, Auto Rebirths. It comes with a good price though, because of how overpowered it is. Let me show you. So I'll go ahead and buy it, and let me go ahead and use it in my Game Pass inventory, and you'll get a notification that it can be activated in the settings. Once I go there, as you can see, there is a button to auto rebirth, and when I toggle it on, it instantly rebirths if I have enough cash to actually do it. The way this works is that it picks your best rebirth button, and once you have enough cash, it instantly rebirths for you, and you don't have to do anything. This is probably the most overpowered Game Pass in Roblox Simulator 2. Yeah, this Game Pass is crazy. Anyways, for this area, I want to add a banana obby, so I made a new portal. I need some assets, so back to Blender again. Okay, I'm done with these obby assets, and some of them might look confusing to you, so let me explain. This thing is supposed to be a windmill, but for the blades, there will be red lasers that kill you. Hopefully this thing turns out as I imagined it. Anyways, let me import these in Roblox Studio. Some of these stages are inspired by a mobile game, Minion Rush. Dang, I used to play it a lot when I was a kid. Alright, so I'm done setting up this banana obby, and these won't be the rewards. They're just copied from the Windsor obby. The rewards I'm going to make will be way cooler, but more about that later. When you enter in the portal, I made the sky a little bit more yellow. I can't tell if it looks good, let me know. Anyways, I'll try to complete this obby as fast as I can. Yo, what the f is happening with these spinners? Why are they going in the wrong directions? And both of them. What? Okay, this part is basically impossible. I'll have to fix it. And boom, I'm at the end, and I totally didn't use any cheats. Anyways, let's claim the reward, and I got a potion. But like I said, these aren't the final rewards. I need to make good rewards, so I hopped on Blender again and started modeling a huge banana cat. Alright, I'm done with the model, and if you can't tell already, it's going to be a banana cat. I'll start working on the texture. Phew, I'm finally done texturing, and it's really late again. I'll go catch some sleep, and import these tomorrow. You think I went to sleep? Nah, I decided to make a banana hoverboard. I ended up not going to sleep and made another hoverboard. This one is a banana, and you'll be able to obtain it from the banana obby. Anyways, now I'm going to sleep. For real this time. It's a new day, and I'm done configuring the rewards, and it's time to make icons again. Okay, I'm done with the icons, and this time I can't be complaining because I only had to do 3. Usually it's around 30, so it was way easier. I'll import these in Roblox Studio now and configure these pets. I never filmed the process of me doing this, so let me just show you how you can get these rewards. Alright, so I'm done setting up the pets and also the obby rewards. As you can see, now you're able to get the banana hoverboard and also the huge banana cat in all 3 variations. Let me go ahead and complete this obby and let's see what I'll get. Okay, I got a pretty bad score, but I got a spin. Let's go. It's not that bad. Now, let me continue on making areas. For this one, I started by adding hills and mountains. I'm missing some assets, so I quickly hopped on Blender. I usually go for basic trees, but these are more complicated and hopefully will look better. Now I'm able to continue building this area. I think Roblox is broken. Every single data store is not working and my game is completely broken. Hopefully this gets fixed soon. Who else just loves this when Roblox completely breaks and you cannot even save your own game? I'll show you the area while flying around. I added a lot of details like these bananas and cakes which make the area look really good. I was getting a little bit angry at Roblox, but they do need to upgrade their servers. The hoverboards are done, and let me show you how they work. Okay, the hoverboards are sort of done, but bugs are expected. Well, first of all, I'm levitating off the hoverboard, but that'll be fixed. These hoverboards were really hard to add, so of course there are going to be a lot of issues, and please don't flame me and my scripter for not fixing them. It's really difficult. I mean, as long as you can go from point A to point B with these hoverboards, you should be good. I started making another area, and this one is waffle themed. Okay, I'm done with the waffle land, and it's truly filled with waffles. It reminds me of breakfast, even though I rarely eat any waffles. Anyways, I'll start working on the next area. I got straight to work on the next one by adding hills and mountains. Phew, this took a while, but I'm done with the Waffle City and the outcome is quite amazing. It's really late again though, so I'll head to sleep and see you guys tomorrow. I want to make a new obby, and this one is going to be unique. I started by making a portal and a little ocean scenery. Once I was done, I hopped on a 3D modeling software called Blender and started making underwater assets. I made pillars, ships, and many more assets. I'm finally done modeling all of these underwater assets, and I have never made this many assets for a single obby. Also, if you couldn't tell, these are meant to be rocks. I got a great idea of how this minigame will look, so let's hop on Roblox Studio and turn it into a reality. Whoa, I'm rushing way too much. I still need to texture these assets before importing them in Studio. Alright, so I'm finally done texturing all of these assets, and now I can import them in Studio and start working on the minigame. I'm ready to build the obby, and if you haven't already noticed, it's going to be underwater. I added a bunch of rocks. To be honest, looking from the player's perspective, you don't really know where to go. So I hopped back on Blender and modeled a sign. Okay, so I'm done modeling this arrow and it'll guide you through the obby. I also needed to write a script for one of the obstacles. Okay, this has to be the coolest obby that I have ever made. Let me show you how it works. So once you go inside the portal, you're underwater and you can start the obby here. You're able to swim in this obby and there are a bunch of underwater assets that make it seem like you're exploring an underwater cave. Then there are these arrows which are pointing in the direction that you have to go, so let me follow it. Then there's this stage where you have to avoid these red spinning lasers. It's actually quite easy, I'll probably have to make it harder. And here is the coolest stage that I have ever made. As you can see, you have to make it in time before the door closes on you. But once you're done, you can claim your reward, but it doesn't work yet because I still need to make them. Before I make the rewards, I realized something. While making updates, I realized my game has a big problem. The drops are on the server. This means everyone can steal your drops and it gets really annoying. This needs to be fixed, and my friend who is a professional scripter offered me to help. But in order for his scripts to work, I need to merge all the drop textures together. And let me tell you, this process wasn't easy. I hopped back on Blender and tried baking the textures together, but that was ineffective. So I ended up retexturing every single model. This was quite unexpected. I literally had to retexture all of these assets, but at least I made some of them look even better, like these candy assets. They were yellow before, and now they fit the candy theme a little bit better. For these assets, I also made them a little bit more saturated and overall improved these assets. My scripter is done, and let me show you how it works. As you can see, now I cannot even see any of the drops that are in the further areas. I have to walk closer for them to render in. All the drops are moved to the client, so finally there won't be any other people disturbing you while you grind. Also, the animations are changed, some particle effects are added, and overall it's really satisfying now and super smooth. Now grinding should be way easier. Now let me make rewards for the ocean obby, and to do that I hopped on Blender and started modeling a hoverboard. Okay, I'm done modeling this crab hoverboard and now it's time to texture it. I might as well also make a new huge, which is going to be the rarest reward. Okay, so I'm done modeling this crab, and honestly, he just looks happy. This pet reminds me of the McDonald's Happy Meal. You gotta take notes from this crab, enjoy your life, and be happy. Before I import this pet, let me also texture the hoverboard. Okay, so I'm also done with this crab hoverboard, and it looks a little bit funny, but that makes it more unique. I'll import this along with the pet in Roblox Studio, this time for real. My scripter is done with the server log boost feature, and let me show you how it works. You're able to buy it in the shop, and every time you go ahead and purchase it, it doubles the luck amount by 2 times along with the price. You're also helping out all the people in the server, not just you. The boost lasts for 1 hour and it stacks. If I go ahead and buy it another time, as you can see, it added 1 hour. We're still trying to make it work with tokens. Hopefully everything ends up working out. Okay, I'm back and I got nearly all orcas. That's honestly insane. This boost is overpowered. Next up, I configured the crab pet and hoverboard by adding primary parts to them. Okay, I'm done configuring these crabs and also the crab hoverboard. It's not here because I already put it inside of replicated storage. But now I'm ready to make pet icons and also hoverboard icons. Okay, I'm done with these images, and this time the crab doesn't really fit in the frame, so there's going to be a bunch of blank space. I thought about adding a background that matches the pet, but it just doesn't look that good, so I'll have to go with this. Then I configure the icons, but usually I don't film this process, so let me just show you how you can obtain these rewards. Alright, I'm done setting up the Ocean Obby rewards, and as you can see, you're able to get the huge crab and also the hoverboard. This image is glitched because there is also supposed to be a darkened version, and I'll fix this. I'll quickly try to complete this obby, and maybe I can get the huge. Okay, I got the hoverboard, let's go. And also here is how the huge looks. It's really cool. Also the hoverboard looks amazing and it's pretty fast. It's time to make a new exclusive egg, but I need some ideas, so I decided to check the arts channel in my Discord server and found this egg concept that looks pretty cool. Then I hopped on Blender and started modeling the egg. Once I was done, I started working on the pets. Oh god, what have I even made? This doesn't look like a proper chain. What even is this? I'm rethinking my career choices. Anyways, I fixed the chain and continued on modeling pets. Alright, so I'm done modeling these pets and they look dripped out, and now it's time to texture them. I textured these pets by using different images. Let's go, I'm finally done texturing all of these exclusive pets, and this hamster is definitely my favorite. But this Dominus is going to be the huge, because he is obviously the richest. He has a wall crown. I will import these in Roblox Studio along with this egg and configure them. I added particle effects to the egg and started making icons. I made each icon represent its pet, and let me show you how the new exclusive egg works. Alright, so I'm done setting up these new exclusive eggs, and the egg icon is still in the process. Let me go ahead and open 8 of these new eggs. It looks like I got the grape egg, but it's actually the rich egg, and let's see what I'll get. Yo, I got the huge. I swear, every single video I keep getting the new huge. It's honestly crazy. While I was testing, I realized when you buy something, nothing interesting happens, so let me change that. I wrote a script that will rain some confetti and play a sound effect. Okay, so now when you buy something in the shop, for example, let me buy a speed potion, it plays this cool sound effect and rains a bit of confetti for you. This isn't really a big change, but it makes the purchase feel more rewarding. It's finally time for the Halloween event to go. RIP, it was a good one, but the update is around the corner and I need to make a new event. But before I do that, I want to remake the spawn area and I want to expand the space. So I moved all the areas to the side and started working on the new spawn area. I also added a statue and some rocks. This new lobby feels more open and honestly looks way better than the old one. Here is the statue of the Robux drop and also the potion upgrade machine. It's still under construction though because my scripter is still scripting it. What do you think about this new spawn layout? For the new event, I'm going to make a single area where you can hatch old huges that were removed from the game. And let me start by making a portal for it. Okay, I'm done with the OG portal and it looks pretty good. For the area, I will do something similar to the scenery and I will bring back some old huges. But now let's get to work and build this area. Now let's move on to the maps. I started by adding hills made out of stud blocks. To be honest, the map looks trash, so I remade it, but with many more different assets. I was doing this at school, so I barely got any footage. Alright, so I'm done with this area, and this time you cannot collect any drops. It's just an event where you'll be able to open some old huges. Way back, most of the Roblox games looked like this. They had this old sky and these stud blocks. Also, this area reminds me of Minecraft. Dang, I haven't played that in a while. For this new area, I need to make eggs, so I hopped back on Blender and modeled an egg model. I'm done with these egg models, and as you can see, I used the stud texture to make them look ancient. Now let me import these in Roblox Studio. Before I import these in Studio, let me make the pets. Now that I'm done modeling these stud pets, I can import them in Studio along with these eggs. I configured these pets by adding these little parts that hold it together. Configuring these stud pets was really easy, and now I can make pet icons. For this egg, I added a billboard UI that notifies the player that from this egg, an old huge can be hatched. Alright, so I'm done setting up these new stud eggs and also the new pets. I brought back an old huge, which is the huge dragon, and I believe nobody has it, so you'll be able to hatch it from this egg, which costs 5 million gems. I'll have to remove these billboard UIs because they're sort of in the way. I got a bunch of dragons, but what could I expect? The huge is really rare. Also, there's this other egg where you're able to get the stud dragon and the stud cat, which are pretty good pets for a beginner player. I want to improve my game in many ways, and the first thing that I want to remake is the area unlocking system. It's boring and doesn't feel rewarding at all. First of all, I will remake the doors, so I hopped on a 3D modeling software called Blender and started modeling a brand new door. Okay, I'm done with the door model and I'm trying to make it simple and ancient at the same time. I will texture it and let's see how it will look. I colored the model by adding a texture. I'm done texturing this door and I separated it in two parts because I'm going to add cool animations and I need this door separated. It also looks pretty good. I was able to achieve the simple but ancient look. It honestly feels like a door for a castle, but who cares? It's for the areas. I'll import this in Studio and get to work. Now I have to replace every single area wall with this door. This is going to be annoying. Then I also wrote a simple script to animate the new door. I still wasn't done replacing doors because I forgot to add a part to detect when the player touches a door, so I had to replace all of the doors again. When you go ahead and buy a new area, the doors start sliding to the side and your screen begins to shake. It already makes the unlocking process feel more rewarding, but I'm not done. I will add some particle effects and also sound effects. To make the animation more satisfying, I made a sound effect and here's how it sounds. So I'm done with the sound effect and this is how it sounds. I think it'll fit the door opening animation really well. I decided to also add some particles and let me show you how it looks. Alright, so I added some particle effects and also the sound effect I made earlier. Watch what happens when I open this door. As you can see, there was a smoke particle and also the sound effect. Also, you can open them with your hoverboard. This update is about Christmas, so I have to make a new event, and first of all, I need assets. So I hopped back on Blender and started modeling a bunch of snowy themed models. I'm done modeling these winter assets and I made many more, like this present, this log, and also some extra hills. These will be used in the new winter area, which I'm going to make right now. I can't make a new area without texturing these models, so let me do that. So I'm done texturing these winter assets, and the sleigh was definitely the most difficult one. It was really annoying to texture all of these little cubes. Anyways, these assets look great, and now I'm ready to import these in Roblox Studio. Now that I have new assets, I can make a new winter portal. Okay, I'm done with the winter portal, and to be honest, it looks way too much like a Christmas one. I mean, this event is pretty much going to be the Christmas update, but only the first part, because I simply don't have enough time to make a full event in under 2 weeks. This event is still going to be really cool, you'll see why later. For the first area, I started by adding hills and mountains. I don't know where the rest of the footage went, but I'm back on Blender modeling a calendar. So I'm having some difficulties with this reef. I mean, it looks good, but there are over 100,000 triangles, which will simply make Studio crash. I fixed this by reducing the triangle count by a lot, and then I finished modeling the calendar. Alright, so I'm done with the advent calendar and it looks pretty good. Hopefully it will match the area. I will add some final decorations once I import it in Roblox Studio. Turns out the footage didn't go anywhere. I just wanted to make the calendar and then continue to place down decorations. Alright, so I'm done with this winter area and it looks amazing. I have the winter vibe and that's all that matters. I will still have to make the drops though, but here is the calendar that I was talking about. It still needs to be scripted though, so it doesn't work yet. What a lovely area, but it's missing something, and it's new winter pets, so let me hop back on Blender and model them. These two pets are related to the calendar, and the other ones are for a new egg. Alright, I'm done modeling these pets, and I decided to make also some for the new winter area. There will be also a huge version of this reindeer. For the advent calendar, I will add a duck and also a huge present cat. Now let me texture these pets. I'm finally done texturing all of these new pets and I'm satisfied with how they look. Now they're ready to be imported in Roblox Studio. Before I do that, I want to make a new hoverboard. It's going to be related to the calendar as well. Alright, so I'm done with this present hoverboard and it'll be obtained in the advent calendar. I'll import this into Studio along with the pets. Before I start configuring these new pets and the present hoverboard, I have a major issue that needs to be fixed. My game could be balanced a little better, so I'm going to buff the pet multipliers by 30% and let me make ChatGPT do all the work. I'm done buffing the pet multipliers and the majority of the pets are buffed by 25%. For some pets I did only 10%, but for many I went all in. Just look at the multiplier of the waffle duck. Back to configuring pets and the hoverboard. Okay, I'm done configuring these pets and I made the reindeer a huge and also the gift cat. Now I'm ready to make pet icons. I uploaded the icons on Studio and assigned them to the correct pet. Okay, so I'm done setting up these new pets and also the hoverboard. It looks pretty cool and it's really fast. This new egg doesn't work yet because I need to make new drops for this winter event. Also, I forgot to anchor it again. I swear, I do this every time. In order to model drops, I will make a new currency which will be called Snow Robux. And I started by making a texture for it. Okay, I'm done with the Snow Robux texture and I gotta say, it looks icy. I love how I only use the draw tool and my mouse. These details might look a little bit bad if I zoom it in, but from afar, everything looks solid. I got an icon and a texture. This means I can start making new winter drops. For the common and rare, I only needed to replace the texture, but for the other ones, I hopped on Blender and modeled them. Alright, so I'm done modeling these winter drops, and I decided to bring back the mythic rarity from the Halloween event. Instead of a candy bucket, I made a bag full of presents and drops. Now let me go ahead and texture all of these models. I colored them by adding textures. I'm done texturing these drops, and they look pretty solid. Let me import these in Roblox Studio and set them up. It was quite easy to make these work. Okay, I'm done setting up the winter drops. Now you can go ahead and collect them. For some reason, they're not working. I forgot to change one line of code, and now it should work. Okay, so these drops should work now. Yup, I can go ahead and collect them. Let me see if I can get the mythic bag. Looks like it doesn't want to spawn, but I can go ahead and try out this new egg. Let's see what I'll get. I got mostly winter cats, but also a reindeer. Also, the advent calendar is almost done. I'll show you how it works. Next up, I will add a new feature where you'll be able to earn game passes for free. I'm not joking, let me explain. Each day, a player will be able to earn a certain amount of tokens if they complete a quest. Eventually, you'll be able to get all the game passes for completely free. To make this feature work, I started by making a UI, and I will let my scripter handle the rest. Speaking of him, the advent calendar is done, and let me show you how it works. So here is the advent calendar that I was talking about, and as you can see, at the end you're able to get a free huge gift card. In order to get it, you have to join the game every single day until the 24th. But if you miss a day, you cannot claim any further rewards. So make sure to join every single day to get a cool prize. There is going to be a Christmas battle pass coming to this event, and to make it, I started by designing the user interface. I will show you how it works a little bit later. I want to make new areas. A lot of you guys were suggesting that as well. And to get started, I need assets, so I hopped back on Blender and began modeling. These candy canes were not the only assets I'm going to make. I made many more, including houses. I'm finally done with the Christmas assets, and as you can see, I made a lot of them. There are houses, candy canes, a Christmas tree, and also a train. I will probably make a few more, but I think this is enough for all the areas that I'm going to make. Now let me go ahead and texture these. Texturing was quite simple with this color palette. Phew, I'm finally done texturing all of these assets, and if you're wondering why did I leave the windows white, well, I'm going to color them in Studio and make them have a glow effect. The other assets look pretty good, and it's time to import these in Studio. Do you want assets like these for yourself? Well, I got you covered. For the past month, I have been working on a website where you can buy high quality assets or fully scripted game templates, like this randomly generated obby kit. There are also free resources which you can get right now. Oh, and I forgot to mention, the first 10 people that order get 10% off using this code. My goal is to make your development journey easier. The first area is going to be candy cane themed, and I started by adding a bunch of mountains. Then I added candy canes and smaller hills to add more depth. Okay, I'm done with the first winter area, and I gotta say, it looks really good. These candy canes might be unrealistically too big, but they fit the area really well, and that's all that matters. This is an example that you can make a simple area look really good. I will also hide some secrets inside of this area and the next ones. For the next area, I'm going to make a cozy Christmas town, and I started by placing down hills and mountains. Then I added a big Christmas tree and houses. To make this town even better, I simulated a smoke coming out of the chimneys. Shoot, I forgot to turn on my microphone. What I was trying to explain is that this area turned out pretty good, and there are some hidden gifts around this area. On to the next one. As usual, I started by laying down the foundation, which are the hills. Then I added a train and some rails. Okay, so I'm done with this final area, and it reminds me of the Polar Express film. I used to watch that movie as a kid, and I tried to recreate the train in a unique way. However, there is a problem. For all of these new areas, I forgot to add the egg platforms, so let me do that. I quickly made these platforms, and by the time I was done, my scripter was done with one of the new features. Okay, so my scripter is done with a pretty cool feature. The Santa is back, and he has a special hoverboard, but in order to get it, you have to complete a quest. To start it, talk to the Santa and he will say a bunch of stuff, that he crashed his sled and he lost 25 presents. When you accept the quest, you'll have to look around all of these new maps to find these little presents. The Explorer is also back, but I'll show you what he does a little bit later. Now it's time to make a new exclusive egg, so I looked through my Discord server and found this concept that looks pretty cool. And to turn these pets into models, I used Blender. Alright, so I'm done with these pet models, and I took some of them from the art concept I found in my Discord server, thanks to the guy that made it. Now I have to make an egg for these new pets. I forgot to record the process of me modeling it, but here's how I textured it. And I also textured these pets. These pets took a while to texture because I was already almost done, and then my power completely went off and I had to retexture all of these pets. But here I am, and they look pretty good and are ready to be imported in Roblox Studio. Then I configured them in Studio and got to work on the icons. Phew, I'm done with these icons, and they turned out to be pretty good. I love how this octopus looks, and it's going to be huge. Now I will go ahead and import these in Roblox Studio. I know, I'm saying this every time, but that's what I'm doing. I was testing if the egg works, and something unexpected happened. Let me go ahead and buy 8 of these. For some reason I got a potion? It turns out the developer product was incorrect. Okay, so it should be fixed, and yeah, I got 8 jolly eggs. Let me go ahead and open them, and let's see what I'll get. Okay, I got a bunch of exclusive pets. This time I didn't get a huge, how unlucky. I'm feeling generous, so I'm going to make a huge Christmas sale. All the game passes will be 50% off, and also the server lock. Christmas is almost here, and I'm feeling really generous, so I made a huge Christmas sale. The server lock is 50% cheaper, it still hasn't updated, but it'll be 25 Robux. And all the game passes go for 50% off. You can literally get the 2x Robux game pass for just 79 Robux. I will probably never do this again. For these Christmas maps, I need new eggs, so I hopped back on Blender and started modeling them. Alright, so I'm done with these egg models, and I tried to make them represent each of the areas. This one is for the Candy Cane Hills, this one is for the town, and this is for the train station. It's supposed to be a gift egg. Now let me go ahead and color these. Now it's just a matter of adding textures, and I'll be done. Well, I forgot to record the process of me texturing these eggs, but I'm done, and now I'm going to make some new pets. I made a list of all the pets I'm going to make, and I know some of them are a little bit crazy. Like fish in a tree doesn't really make sense, but trust me, it'll look good. Okay, so I'm done with these pet models, and I made some candy cane pets and also tree pets. Some of these will have a huge version, but now let me go ahead and color these. To be honest, coloring is one of my most hated parts of doing updates because of how time consuming it really is. I'm done with these pet models, and my Blender is lagging like crazy because there are so many pets. Apart from the insane lag, these models look really good and are ready to be imported in Roblox Studio. I don't know how long my PC will be able to handle these pets, but in Studio I added little parts and welded them to the pet. Now it's time to make some icons. Okay, I'm done with the pet faces, and this one looks a little bit goofy, but good at the same time. I'm curious, what's your favorite pet in the entire game? Let me know in the comment section. I got back on Studio and configured the multipliers for these new winter pets. I have successfully configured all the pets and eggs. Let's see if they work. I will go ahead and open 8 of these gift eggs, and let's see what I'll get. Okay, I got a bunch of Dominuses and the fish. For some reason the reindeer is showing up in the egg, but I'll fix that because there's supposed to be the huge tree fish. Also, there's something new that I'll show you very soon. By very soon, I mean right now. The Explorer is back and he is holding a new currency, snow tokens. You can go ahead and talk to him and he will prompt you up with a battle pass. As you can see, there are 20 tiers and some of them have really good rewards like tokens and a bunch of exclusive eggs. And the way to get snow tokens is by literally just collecting these drops. They will randomly spawn from the sky, and as you can see, I got 3 snow tokens. You can use them to progress further in the event. Since Christmas is almost here, I might as well make the spawn area more snowy, and I did that by coloring the ground and adding assets. This update is done. There are many features like the battle pass and a present hunt. Don't forget about the calendar as well, where you can get a free huge. Anyways, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Have a great rest of your day and peace.